And good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Great Garlic Cook-Off. We are about to get underway here. Well, actually, we've been underway for a while, but we're about to get underway with the breakdown as the judges are going to begin tasting all of this great food. It is being cooked by some finalists who have come in sending recipes from all over the country. I'm Dan Green. Joining me this morning, lovely Kate Callahan, everyone,
Good morning, everyone.
and
Welcome.
Chef Wendy Brody. Now, Wendy, you've been in this from the beginning, so can you just, for everybody that's watching out there and so on, can you tell us what the process is for the cook-off? Because this is a 6 8 month, year-long process.
It is, and hands off always to the cook-off committee because they're the ones that do the pre-screening. It is a lengthy process. They get recipes from all over the country and even Canada for 2 years in a row that make it through the first wave, and then I receive them. Then I go through them all and pick out a good portion of them to test the recipes. And then the committee drives all the way down to Carmel. We cook up a storm for a couple of days and select the contestants. And boy, is that hard. It is so wonderful, but they're all so good at that point. You're taking the best of the best.
And when Wendy says they cook up a storm, what you mean is that these recipes come in printed form, and you literally cook them.
Exactly. But when someone has a camera, there is one lovely contestant from Canada. For 2 years, she has handwritten or printed the most exquisite recipe. Thank goodness the recipe is good because just her writing and care of how she's presented the recipe and the story behind it, you gotta choose her. You gotta try it. So we have to show. I mean, she blows a computer out of the water.
And this has been, once that happens, then it's narrowed down and we get our finalists. And this morning, we have them cooking up a storm. We have 8 finalists, and among those 8 dishes, each of them will come off of the cook-off stage here and over to the judges every 15 minutes as we go forward. Our first contestant will come off about 12, 13 minutes from now. And then that will go before our judges. Our judges will taste them. Another one will go, and we'll continue on till about noon today.
Sure, one
And
more.
the judges have a very difficult decision to make. And we're gonna show you exactly the process they go through. You've judged many, many times, and
9 years worth, or 7 because I got to join you last year.
that's hard. It's hard.
It is, it is. Fortunately, I was the tie-breaking judge, so the hard work was left up to the others. But here is this, look at this.
Take a look at this, right here. That's just the.
Pages and pages of meticulous.
That's terrific. A lot of heart is poured into these recipes, and it comes down to this. And we've got some, Katie. There's a lot of stress on this stage right now.
I know there's a lot of stress. These guys have been cooking since
Yes.
8 o'clock this morning. So even before the park opens its doors, they are here. They're coming from all over, all across the country to participate in this. They've been working on these recipes and fine-tuning them. It's amazing to even get to this point, to be one of these final 8.
It really is. They should all be so proud because once they've reached this position, they're all winners. It's just the best of the best of the best.
It is. And what's so fun for me is that we come in the morning, it's 10 o'clock, it seems so quiet, but like Dan said, the anticipation and what's going on back here and what has been going on for the past couple of hours is really incredible. I mean, they have to take all this stuff, they are out of their own kitchens, they're out of their own element, and they come here and they have one helper that's appointed to them, and they go for it. And it is unusual conditions, an outdoor kitchen, and there they go, and that's all they've got.
And what's wonderful to help them calm their ruffled nerves,
Yes.
maybe, is that each of the helpers and assistants have most likely been down cooking with me, so they know the recipes, they've seen it, they've tasted it, so they can be of good support to them.
Excellent. I think this is going to be a fun year. Now, we spoke briefly. You were saying bacon was a big, besides garlic, of course, which is always
It
the
is, of course,
superstar. But
yes.
you said bacon was kind of
Bacon
prevalent. We had one
was-
last year, of course, and all the guys were like, everything's better with bacon.
It is.
And now we've seen that trend come
Bacon
around.
just infiltrated almost all the recipes, and if it wasn't bacon, maybe a little prosciutto. And so it was just interesting when you started lining all the ingredients up. Bacon, 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 sweet potato.
I want to introduce you
Sounds
guys.
good. Who's
want-
our first contestant, Dan?
Okay, so coming off, we have just over 4 minutes left for Terry Crandall from Gardnerville, Nevada, who's in our first position coming off here. And part of the stress for Terry is the fact that we're hanging over her shoulder as she's preparing everything. And I know you just have 4 minutes, but tell us what you're cooking.
Pomegranate, sweet chili pork kebabs, and sweet potato hash.
How do you find the balance with the garlic?
I did half and half. I had half the garlic in the hash and half in the marinade for the meat.
Okay, so right now she's got a plate, and she has to have plates ready for all of our judges. And presentation is part of this, right, Wendy?
Always. But the flavor, of course, you can't get, beyond how wonderful the taste is. But we eat with our eyes first, providing that's one of the senses we have. So one of the things that I was so anxious about is this is one of the bacon ones, too.
There's bacon in almost every one of our
That's what Kate and I were saying.
So in a dish like this, as a judge, Wendy, tell me that we have sauce here, we have the kebabs, we have the rice. How much instruction do you want as a judge, or do you just want to go at it?
Well, the smell or the bouquet is drawing you in. It's just such a lovely aroma. So that's makes you want to just jump right in there and dunk those kebabs in the sauce. But she's got texture, she's got color, she's got different heights. Really, it's very appealing, very
Now-
professionally done.
Now, Terry, tell me how this process all started.
You know, I get my recipes when I walk around the block with my dog, and I think of flavors, and I think of what I'm going to make, and then I go home and just kind of put it together.
How long ago did you come up with this?
Around in April.
Okay, and tell me, what was it when you first made it? Because you came up with it walking the dog, but then you have to make it. And what about it said, this is it?
My family, they tasted it and they said, this is really good. So I
So-
sent it in.
The kebabs and the rice, finding that balance in the rice has got to be hard.
It's sweet potatoes.
Sweet potatoes, excuse me. Tell me how you prepared these. These are sweet potatoes?
Sweet potato hash, yes.
I shredded them and then sauteed them with jalapeno and bacon and shallots.
Take a look at these, because it looks like rice. I swear, I just looked at it. I thought it was rice. Take us through this. So you got to find the balance with everything. Tell us one more time, because everybody that's watching wants to know more about your recipe. So the pork, how did you cook that?
I put it on the Weber barbecue. I marinated it in teriyaki sauce and garlic, and then put it on the skewers, and then I made the sauce on a saute pan with pomegranate juice and sweet chili sauce.
Sweet chili sauce. Is this a
Honey,
little garlic in there, or you?
no, not in that one. The garlic is in the hash and in the marinade for the meat.
Okay. Now, what's fascinating to me, and Wendy, how did you do making the sweet potatoes?
Oh, well, Ours look beautiful, but not like this, you know. But what is so great for us cooking it, we've requested photographs from everyone the past couple of years, and now that really helps us. A picture really is worth 1,000 words. So she's even made it more beautiful than the photograph, and we try and photograph our own ones and keep nice records, but you topped us.
Very good. So you made it under the wire without a whole lot of stress and time. Terry, where are you from in Nevada?
Gardnerville, Nevada.
Tell us where that is.
It's south of Reno near Lake Tahoe.
Outstanding, beautiful country. You have a beautiful dish. I'm going to wish you a lot of luck. When the judges start tasting it, maybe we should probably be talking to you again. Very good. Congratulations. Give her a big round of applause, would you, Terry?
Good
Our
luck.
first
This is
contestant
your
there.
First time.
Katie?
Good luck.
All right, Dan, so we're about to get started with the judges tasting, right? What's our countdown now? Are we a couple minutes?
She's
They're
good.
ready.
She's
Okay,
in.
all right.
We didn't even
need
stress
to-
that one.
Well, we need to introduce our judges for the year, right? Okay. As they take their seats for the very first tasting of this year's.
We're going to have all of our judges take their
Wonderful
seats
recipes.
now. Calling all judges.
And we're going to introduce them. If you could just give them a big round of applause after all this. Jason Gronlund, he's the executive chef at Smoky Bones Bar and Fire Grill, joining us this year. Also, Jason Levnisky, executive chef, the Hyatt Fisherman's Wharf. Evelyn Milliette from Rayleigh's Bel Air Nob Hill Foods. Majid Barini, Mamma Mia's Italian Restaurants. And Adam Sanchez is joining us, rounding out our list of judges from the Milia's Restaurant. So welcome, judges. Thank you so much for being with us this year. I think it's going to be a lot of fun and very interesting to see what everybody's tasting
We're-
and their
Exactly.
reactions.
We're getting our judges seated, and some of us, some of them are new, and Evelyn's been around for quite a while. But this is not an easy process. Wendy, you've been a judge, you've sat at that table, you've gone through all of these dishes. Tell me what the process is from when you sit down and that first dish, because you set the bar with the first dish, and then you have to go from there.
You
Take us through the
do.
process.
Well, the one thing that we try not to do, because we have our little score sheets and everything, and with the wonderful media covering, we try and kind of hide those so nobody,
Sees the numbers.
gets concerned or excited too quickly. But there is a lot of table talk, and we do discuss it. We do score individually on taste and appearance. I think we took out ease of recipe because nobody really knows that, and so that
Because
we
the
used to
judges
have.
aren't seeing the difficulty or ease factor.
Right,
So, but there
right.
are several categories that
Yes.
go into this.
Yes,
It's
there's
not
several.
just overall
No,
taste. It's how, like you were saying, you eat with your eyes, you see the
exactly.
food, the appearance.
And then we total all the judges' amounts, and then we come up with a number. So some judges may like there may be one number difference, and all in all, they're so close. So when I was the deciding judge,
Right.
I often got called to make the final call. It was so close.
And is it difficult, as Dan was saying, you have your first recipe, sets the bar.
Yes.
Is it difficult as the morning progresses to, it's good, I mean, you have your points down, you know off the top of your head exactly how you were feeling about that dish at the same time. Have you ever rethought as the morning went along and thought, well, maybe that, you can't go back.
No, you can't. That's why scoring at the time you're doing it, making your notes is very important. One of the challenges is the spiciness, and we do put the recipes in a logical order that makes sense. Normally set up like a menu, but this year we had so many like a couple of Mexican dishes, a couple of pork dishes. Oh, gorgeous.
Those kebabs look gorgeous.
While
Oh my
you're looking
goodness.
up front there at our first dish
That was
that's
the
coming
first dish.
through,
Are we? Our
our,
second dish
our
is coming
clock
out
is
already.
ticking down on our second
It starts
contestant
to go
here.
so
Yes, it does. It truly does.
Renata is here, and Renata, where'd you come from?
I come from Oregon, Lebanon, Oregon.
Now, Renata, tell me a little bit about what you've cooked for us here today.
I did summer salmon rolls with garlic lemon sauce.
And it's light. It's for you. Tell me what you were going for. Light, fresh.
Yeah, light, refreshing, and also because I'm from Oregon, I figured salmon would be great. I bring it down to the garlic festival, and make a fusion roll and add garlic to it.
Tell me about the sauce.
The sauce is real simple. I want to have it really fresh, so it has a lot of lemon in it, and garlic a little bit, a little mayonnaise, and a little bit of Greek yogurt. And also pepper.
I have to tell you, I'm Wendy. As when I cook, I'm scared to death if it comes down to cook fish. This is not. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, oh,
people
very-
come and you think, oh gosh, if I cook it just, you gotta nail it.
You-
How do you
you
feel
do.
about that?
I feel good. You know, I made a
You
big.
cook some salmon up in Oregon from time to time, do you?
I do quite a bit.
Well, one of the things that I loved about this recipe, and the Northwest has a strong Asian influence in its cuisine, but she really mixed the cultures well because, like, sliders have a little bit of the slaw, but she's done the Oriental wrap with the spring roll, and then like the Greek or the Middle Eastern sauce with the yogurt. And so your multicultural fusion, you use the right word, was so lovely. Your presentation is just really exquisite.
Thank you. Yeah, it's
it-
Gilroy fusion cooking.
Katie, why don't you give us a look at the judges and what they're up to over there right now as they're tasting the first one. Time was not a factor for you. How are you feeling about time, Renata? Because you're in well under the wire.
Yes, and then of course I have to say, since we have chaperones or helpers, sous chefs, and that really is nice to cook with somebody along. You know, Patty is my sous chef, and she did a wonderful job.
How about a big round of applause for Patty, huh? Each of our chefs are given an assistant to help them sort of through this whole thing. But one of the things that's exceptionally difficult for these chefs that are here today is that they are in an environment that is completely unfamiliar to them. They're cooking with stoves and ovens that they've never cooked with before, and they're not sure how the temperature is going to go and things like that. It's very, very difficult. But the result is terrific, and they're tasting it over there right now, and Kate's over with the judges.
These judges are going to have a very tough decision today. If you are just coming to us, you're joining us for the 2014 Great Garlic Cook-Off, and it's going to get exciting. We're already on our second dish. Actually, we're waiting for the second dish. We're finishing up on the kebabs. Good morning, Evelyn. Nice to see you. How are you? Good. Thanks for joining us once again this year. How are you feeling on the kebabs?
I'm feeling the kebabs. I think they had a really nice presentation. It was a nice thing to say, oh, look at the pop of color and all that on the plate. I think the sweet potatoes were quite unique. I wasn't expecting that. So, yeah.
And what's unique about the sweet potatoes for you?
Because the sweet potatoes because they're grated and they're kind of made to look like a rice almost. So,
Which is exactly what I thought when I came over. I hadn't seen the dish close up. And so garlic was incorporated into the sweet potatoes as well?
I haven't read the recipe on this. The garlic was a little light on, I think, the sweet potatoes, but it was kind of a little throughout the whole dish. Yeah.
All right, thanks, Evelyn, for your take on that. We're going to move over to Jason here. Jason, welcome to our judges' table this year. Glad to have you. What are you thinking about our first dish?
Well, it was great. It's definitely colorful when it came out. I think the balance of size portion was good. Again, agree on the sweet potato. At first, I was sort of looking at it going, well, how they do it. So I think running it through the processor on a grate, the grating plane was great. Again, the garlic was a little bit light on that one, but overall, it was a good plate.
Now,
All right.
Katie, Terry's over here watching the judges go at her stuff and is just a big giant stress bag right now. We want to give the judges a chance to ask her any questions. If they have any questions about any questions at all about the dish. Questions can be good or bad. You never know.
No, my question is, where'd you get the inspiration for the sweet potatoes? Or the whole dish in general, I should say.
I go on walks every morning. This is where I get my inspiration. I walk around and I just think of putting flavors together, and that's where it came.
While she's
Oh, very
walking her
nice.
dog is when she.
Oh, okay. What kind of dog do you have? We have to
An
know.
Australian Shepherd.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
Nice. So,
They said she goes for a drag in the morning rather than a walk. I don't know the connection between an Australian Shepherd and sweet potatoes, but it's truly
I have a
remarkable.
lot of time to think.
In the world of creativity, you really don't ask where it comes from. I think a lot of the chefs here and folks that cook, some days I can't think of grilled cheese, and other days it sort of flows. So
Yes.
you don't ask how or why. You just accept it when it comes and roll with it.
And I'm neither a chef nor even a cook, as Dan will be the first to tell you. But I would think on your walks, just from seeing all the colors on this plate, that you must get a lot of inspiration.
It's a beautiful area we live in.
It is,
Yes,
right?
Yes, right in the Sierras. So.
You have certainly found your inspiration.
Yes.
Beautiful plate.
How hard was it for you to get your meat cooked just right? Because you're dealing with different ovens and stoves and everything, and that's one thing that you really want to hit.
I put it on the Weber barbecue.
And so you felt really good about the barbecue.
It puts nice caramelization on the meat, and it's just I love the charcoal barbecue better than the gas barbecue because
More flavor.
more flavor and color and everything else. Yes.
Let's give her another big round of applause, would you? Terry, congratulations. Wendy, go ahead, sorry.
It's Terry's first time in entering this, and Renata that you'll be trying next. She's been a veteran and a couple of others, and we'll let you know that. So hands off to you. The others know what they're getting into, but you really held your own.
All right, the judges are finishing up with the first plate of this year's 2014 Great Garlic Cook-Off. Thank you all so much for coming out and joining us this early morning. Hope you're all having a good time. It's going to be a tough,
Kate.
stiff competition this year.
And Kate can also tell you that all of the recipes that are being done here, you can try at home, right, Kate?
You can try them at home. You can purchase the Garlic Festival cookbook, as usual, $7. And I believe, if they are true to form, well, I'll have more information on exactly where we can find these this year. I don't see, well, I see a beautiful lady coming my way. Thank you so much. So we do have our little tent right around the
Right around the corner as you exit this way, you'll see our tent. Please stop by. Wonderful, great recipes this year.
Excellent. Thank you so much. And as Dan said, you can take this home and try everything that you see here on this stage at your own kitchen, in your own kitchen.
How are you, Dan?
Dan, are we already on number 2?
Hey, we're on number
Number
3
three.
already. Are you
Number
kidding me?
three.
Now,
Have
Renata's
So our
Renata's going to be next up for the judges, but I can tell
With
you,
the salmon rolls.
let me tell you something. What's amazing this year is, so far, knock wood, we haven't seen a lot of stress from the judges, and every one of our contestants has been ahead of schedule so far.
I heard
Well,
some
see-
furious chopping over there, though.
Yeah, well, right now over here, this is our position number 3, and we're going to introduce you to Sonia Gorgon. Did I say that right, Sonia? From Moorhead, Minnesota, who's making us blackened garlic chicken enchiladas with avocados, artichokes, and tropical quinoa. Kate, quinoa is here today.
Quinoa. You got it right.
Who you may recall, quinoa played for the Warriors in the 70s. He was a power forward. But all the preparation is underway right now, and this dish is a little more complicated, Wendy, than some of the things that we've seen before. She's got a lot going on in here.
She does. And what was so interesting, again, mixing the different cultural cuisines and pretty much a Mexican dish, but making a citrus, quinoa, also adding artichokes, a local ingredient to the Central Coast, tomatillos. Anyway, I was very impressed. We all were when we tried this.
Sonia, tell us how you came up with the concept.
I eat a ton of Mexican food, and so it's one thing that my kids really like. And enchiladas are cheesy and easy for kids to eat.
So the quinoa, then, how do you get quinoa into the whole scenario? Where did that come from?
I have celiac disease, and so I eat a ton of quinoa, and so to me that's normal. To other people it might not be, but quinoa is a high source of protein and easy to make.
Wendy, great replacement for maybe a standard rice or another starch?
Oh, absolutely. I
How does it hold the flavor?
Oh, it's a wonderful base. It's just terrific, and I love it. To have something so healthy, so nutritious, and tastes good at the same time is great.
Now, Sonia, you're doing really good on time. But she's got a lot of other things going on here. It looks like we're going to get a beverage with this as well. Wendy, I don't think you can ever really go wrong serving an alcoholic beverage to the judges.
Maybe not. Never.
At 10:30 in the morning.
At 10:30 in the morning on Saturday.
We get started early here at the Garlic Festival.
And she's another first-timer, I believe, so she's doing really well. I know that position, the first time, is so scary.
5:30 somewhere, right?
All right, Wendy, bring me up to speed here.
Okay, well, Sonia has created a blackened garlic chicken enchilada with avocados, artichokes, tropical quinoa. She's got a tomatillo sauce. The chicken is flavored with ancho chili. She's got an avocado mango salsa. And
Is that tequila? That little bottle there. I hope that's not what's going to the judges.
no,
What
that's
is that?
hot. So you need.
What is it?
You need to borrow my glasses. Hot sauce.
No,
Tabasco.
no.
You mean these little ones?
no.
Oh, I
Yes,
missed that. She was
yes.
in the way. Oh,
Well,
wow.
we see where my eye
yeah,
goes first,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Right.
I missed that.
But Wendy, this is the quinoa then?
Yes, isn't that lovely?
I love the mold.
And well, she's using a ring. See the
Right.
ring mold, and that's a great thing. If Dan doesn't have one for his cooking, they have every different size, so that would be a fun
That's
thing.
the,
to get
the
in
reason
if
I
he
don't
doesn't-
have one, Wendy, is because quinoa doesn't usually come into the house.
No,
so
but
I
for
usually-
potatoes, for anything,
I
building
know.
a
Actually,
tower.
I think our latest purchase was the bacon bowl.
yeah, which is terrific, by the way, and I have to get you one.
We'll get you that for
Oh,
Christmas, Wendy.
perfect, perfect. I do not
everything's
have
better
one.
in a bacon bowl.
Yes.
That's right. But we will get Dan a ring, and we're gonna.
Okay, what's happening right now is that our second contestant, our second dish is being tasted right now by the judges. Renata made it for us. Tell us what you made one more time.
I made summer salmon rolls with garlic lemon sauce.
And she's from Oregon. We have go ahead and show it to the crowd here if you would. This is our dish, and they're tasting it right now. And we want to give the judges an opportunity to ask you any questions. Judges, any questions on this one? Say it again. Any questions from the judges? They're taking a close look. They're checking the salmon very closely. The protein is so important here. How did you feel you cooked it? Did you think you nailed it?
I poached my salmon, and I think it should be just perfect.
Should be good. Now, fish scares me to death, but Renata's from Oregon, and they cook salmon all the time, and so far so good. No questions is a good scenario. You've been here before?
Yes, I have been here before. This is my 5th time.
5-time veteran to the Gilroy Garlic Festival, absolutely. And how do you feel this year?
I I feel good, but anytime I'm here, I have a lot of fun. So it's just really fun to be here again.
What is it about the Garlic Festival that you like being a part of?
Just to have all those wonderful people around us, the helpers and everybody else in the committee. They're really very nice, and they make us feel welcome. And so it's really a treasure to be here.
Terrific. We wish you a tremendous amount of luck. Please, how about a big round of applause for Renata Stanko from Lebanon, Oregon. Summer salmon rolls with garlic lemon sauce being tasted right now. Our third contestant is the clock.
plating.
The clock is ticking down on that right now. But real quick, I want to thank South County Chrysler, the sponsor of the Great Garlic Cook-Off here this morning. In addition to them, our stage sponsors and our good friends, Christopher Ranch, Rayleigh's Bel Air, Nob Hill Foods, Rabobank, Dole Fresh Vegetables. Also, special thanks to LJB Farms, Western Tree Nursery, Renee Harrigan, Art of Food TV with Wendy Brody, Jim Rhodes, Guglielmo Winery, Satori Cellars, the wineries of Santa Clara Valley, Head Start Nursery, Lightheart Cellars, Calera Winery, Ernie's Plumbing, Todd and Janice Jones, Lowe's, Rich Tarrick, Julie Franco, Le Creuset, Elaine Bonino, Sygenta Flowers, Lucero Olive Oil, Rick and Judy Heinzen, Andy's Rub, Solus Winery, Hecker Pass Winery, Fernwood Cellars, Sarah's Vineyard, Fortino Winery, Man Cellars, Hazmat Hot Sauce, People and Planet, Tom and Valerie Obata, St. Mary Parent Club, and Robert Deal. Please give our sponsors a big round of applause if you would, because they make this all possible for us. Our celebrity judges are over there right now, and they are going at it. And throughout the afternoon, you're going to see some of our celebrity chefs actually cooking here individually this afternoon. At 12:30, Dewey and Bobby Lucero from the Great Lucero Olive Oil up in Corning are going to cook. They're going to talk about cooking with olive oil. That's on this stage at 12:30. At 11:30, Evelyn Meliate from Rayleigh's Bel Air Nob Hill Foods, who's judging right now, will be doing a demonstration for you at 1:30. Jason Gronlin, also one of our judges from Smoky Bones Bar and Fire Grill, will be cooking for us at 2:30 this afternoon. Jason Levinsky, executive chef, Hyatt Fisherman's Wharf, will be cooking for us as well. He's in action right now. We have garlic Q&A with Brian Jones, the garlic production manager of Olam, at 4:30 this afternoon. So stuff will be happening on this stage all day long, and you don't want to miss it. We're coming down on the clock right now. It is ticking down on our third contestant. Kate and Wendy are with her right now.
We have about 7 minutes, if I'm correct, give or take a few seconds, and Sonia is plating her beautiful dish. How are you feeling at this moment?
Fine. I think it's coming along good.
Was it difficult getting out of your own kitchen, getting into an open-air kitchen that you're unfamiliar with? What were the challenges this morning?
This broiler doesn't work like my broiler does, so this has been kind of a challenge, but I think we're making do and everything's going okay.
Was the avocado what I heard being chopped over there?
Actually, cilantro.
Cilantro is going.
Right there, right
Beauti-
there, there it is.
Beautiful dish. Where did you get your inspiration for this?
My family eats a lot of locally grown fruits and vegetables, and so in the summertime when they grow different things, I like to try different things, and my kids eat really well, so if I can make something Mexican, they'll do it.
How many kids?
I have a 3-year-old little boy named Gabe and a 6-year-old daughter, Olivia.
Excellent. Well, Sonia?
Speaking of how they present things and the garnishes and decorations, but look at these darling little from the pepper
Little
plant. Not that
peppers.
they're, considered the edible, but they are so perfect for things. I love seeing unique garnishes, and there's the plant over there.
I love how every year we see such fun inspiration in how these plates are presented.
Exactly.
I think last year we had, it was paper wrapped. Remember, like newspaper?
Oh,
And
yes,
everybody
yes.
was asking, where do we get that?
Isn't that
it's just,
great?
It's so much fun inspiration.
Bistro style.
Yes,
It was,
yes, it was almost like a fish and chips kind of presentation. But that's what's fun, because you can try these recipes at home, but you can also really be inspired by the look of it.
My first year, 9 years ago, one of the women in her display created color salts to look like sand to go with her stuffed scallop dish that was, I think, a bacon wrap, but it had a garlic clove inserted, a pickled garlic.
Wow.
But the sand that she made to have that ocean feel was incredible. I mean, you know, where
Where do you-
creative people take you, we all learn from that.
Isn't it true?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm the one who goes on to cooking sites or Pinterest to get what these people are doing and creating, and it really is inspiring. And it makes you think about using different ingredients in different ways.
Yes.
Dan,
There's-
where are we? I think we're actually about.
We're way. All of our judges
know,
are so
it seems
I mean,
very
all of our
calm.
contestants
Yeah.
are so unbelievably organized
Dear
so
Sonia
far.
is another first timer, so you know the stress is on her. Renata was a veteran, Margie Berry is, and there may be a few others. So they're all doing so beautifully.
Sonia, as a first timer, is a cool cucumber. She
Yes.
is, I mean,
Even though we're watching over
no,
her,
I
hovering
know,
over her.
and I'd be shaking like a leaf.
Yeah, the artist at work. Just breathe, take deep
And that's
breaths.
one of the things that you need to do, though. I mean, if you have that time, Wendy, we're looking at about another 4 minutes or so that's left. If you have that time, there's always a way to improve your dish, isn't there?
You hope there's some last thing. Sometimes that can be a conflict. You get a great idea at the last minute, and then you need a few extra minutes.
There's also plenty of time to ruin a good dish.
I don't know that we're going to see any of that here today. All of these look so amazing. All right, so Sonia is our third dish. She is finishing up her plating, probably about 3 minutes to go here, and the judges will be tasting her dish. They are finishing up right now.
And Katie's staging up right now. Next up, another 15. Just given the 20-minute warning is Margie Berry from White Salmon, Washington. And Katie and Wendy, what are they cooking today?
Oh gosh, she has a real exciting and unusual thing or an unusual dish for the Garlic Festival. I don't believe we've ever had shooters before. And for a hot day, I mean, maybe this should have been served yesterday because they said it's going to be scorching today. We're all still comfortable. I don't have anything dripping yet.
It's so far, so good. But again, we were just talking about the plating and how beautiful and how creative all of these chefs have been so far today. And Margie, I know you're cooking your heart out here. How are you feeling today? Welcome.
Good, thanks. It's Margie.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Margie.
I
Welcome.
goof on that many times.
Now tell us about your dish.
I did I call them cabana crab sizzling summer shooters. So it's a layered of Dungeness crab, and then it's got a cream avocado sauce, and then I have garlic infused whipped cream, and then there's a watermelon gazpacho granita that goes on top. That has garlic in it also. It's spicy and cooling at the same time, and then it has crispy prosciutto on the top.
It sounds delicious. Is this something that you made specifically with this contest in mind, or is this something that is in your cooking arsenal?
Well, we were up boating with some friends up in the Puget Sound, and we stopped at this restaurant, and we had these little crab shooters. It was very basic crab, and then they had this whipped cream on the top. So we went there for lunch. We liked it so much, we had to go back for dinner. And I look over at my husband, and he's got the shot glass, and he's finishing it around his tongue. I thought, I can do something with that. So as a matter of fact, when I was here the last time, I had a cold watermelon soup that I won with, and I knew on the plane ride home I'm going to tweak this, and this is one of the recipes I'm going to send in. And so I worked on it for 4 years, and here it is.
elaborate on the whipped cream, the garlic infused whipped cream. Is this a sweet cream? I know my mom does her whipped cream from scratch. We're not talking, out of the. So does it have the original sweetness, or do you tweak it even as you're making it?
So all you take is heavy cream, and you bring it to a boil, just a slight boil, with 4 smashed cloves of garlic and a bay leaf. So once it comes to boil, you take it off the burner, put a lid on it, and let it steep for, I did about 20, 25 minutes, and then you got to get it cold again so you can whip it. So there's no sweetness to it.
Very cool. Well, this looks absolutely delicious. Your presentation is adorable. I love the whole kind of red, white, and blue. It makes you feel like you're on the Cape.
And
Margie, thank you.
I'm not only envious of this dish, I'm going to be
I want
doing
it.
this many times. Wait till you taste this. But look at her jewelry. I always get complimented on my necklace, but your spoon and your garlic badge and the chef's coats this year, fabulous.
I know. I'm so happy to have a chef's coat instead of an apron. You feel like a real professional. But the first year I came to the Garlic Fest, I bought this. Some gal had a really cute booth with all these garlic pins, and so I've had it for a while.
And the one on top?
That's the garlic pin.
But your spoon.
The spoon is just an antique old spoon, and it's a pin.
And good luck charm, maybe?
Hopefully.
All right. So
Margie,
what?
thanks so much.
What's happening right now is that our third contestant, Sonia Gorgon from Moorhead, Minnesota, with blackened garlic chicken enchiladas with avocados, artichokes, and tropical quinoa, is being presented to the judges right
Wait
now.
on this one, so that's.
How you feeling?
Good. I'm glad to be done.
Yeah. You know what? It didn't seem like it seemed to me that you were pretty much on time. You had some time to work with.
I did, and I actually started early, and I had all of my things together, so I wasn't really freaking out. The broiler just didn't do what I wanted it to do, and so I had to do that a couple times in order for it to.
So tell me the process. You were broiling what? Your enchiladas?
Yeah, the top of them.
So
They look
is
terrific,
showing
just for
all
whatever
around the
that's worth.
country at
Do you
different
feel like
times.
are you confident they got cooked through all the way?
I think so. Yeah. Yep. All of this stuff was cooked in the beginning, so it was.
Tell me about your prep.
So I blackened some chicken breasts, and then I diced them, and I mixed them with cheese and garlic and avocados and artichokes, and then I roll them in a homemade corn tortilla that is sitting on a bed of quinoa with mango salsa that has jicama, cilantro, and red onions and avocados.
Now you mentioned that you have celiac disease, and we're seeing. Have you noticed in restaurants more and more experimentation has been happening in the world of gluten-free products and things like that? First of all, that's got to be exciting for you. But you've been at it for a while in terms of cooking for your family and things like that. Do you view it as a challenge or a great opportunity?
I would say at the beginning it was a huge challenge because everything I knew was flour-based, and so all of the very best foods to eat had wheat in them. But I have undertaken this as a challenge and created my own flour mixture, so I don't really have. At first it was really hard for me, but now I think it's kind of exciting that I can do something that tastes like something else with the things that you can't use to make it. So
tell me what you did with your enchilada then.
You mean this is all gluten-free, so I didn't have anything flour-based in there. It's a corn tortilla. Quinoa is a gluten-free grain, so yeah.
And it looks terrific. You did some sauce on the top. Tell me how you put that together.
Yeah, it's a crema that has, it's just a cream cheese-based sauce that has cilantro in it, and it just kind of adds some cool to the funky recipe, and it looks nice.
You had some great run on your cheese. What kind of cheese did you use?
Monterey Jack.
Just Jack, straight out.
Yep, just Jack.
Which can really absorb a flavor. How did you find the balance with garlic here?
I use garlic in a few different ways. So I roasted it first, and it's in the tomatillo salsa. So it's roasted there, and then it's also inside the enchilada itself, as well as in the quinoa.
going to give the judges an opportunity. Judges, any questions for our chef here? Any questions at all for this particular dish? If they don't ask questions, it's not necessarily a bad thing, just so you know. They're busy eating right now.
Yep.
So far, it's a good sign. We're going to wish you a tremendous amount of luck. Where do you come from?
I'm from Moorhead, Minnesota, which is directly across the river from Fargo, North Dakota, which I'm sure most of you have heard of.
And the weather has not been stellar this summer up there.
The weather actually is really hot right now. We had a bad winter.
Well, welcome to our dry heat.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, it's more humid here. It was the same temp at home, and it felt warmer here because it was more humid.
You know, if you're complaining about our humidity, we can send you back in a big hurry.
No, I'm not complaining at all. It's beautiful here.
I'm just kidding you. Thank you. Wish you a tremendous amount of luck. Give her a big round of applause. Sonia with the black and garlic chicken enchiladas with avocados, artichokes, and tropical quinoa. A real challenge. I mean, think about it. To do gluten-free and garlic with all of the restrictions that come into play, and there are restrictions that are there are requirements. Wendy, minimum what? A 6 garlic cloves. There are requirements. I mean, you know, there's a framework. This isn't a free-for-all.
Right. It's like a minimum of 2 teaspoons or figuring 6 garlic cloves, but almost all the different components of everyone's recipe, they've included garlic in some way, whether it's roasted or candied or minced. Very exciting, all the different ways. One thing that we saw last year that we didn't see this year was the use of black garlic, which is, for me, my first time, and a very exciting use of garlic, the black. I was told Trader Joe's had it the other day because it's not easy to find, but it's a wonderful ingredient.
Well, you just got to look at the dish right now, the garlic chicken enchiladas that the judges are looking at right now. But just to bring you up to speed, this is where we are right now. That is our third dish so far. And our first dish right here was the pomegranate sweet chili glazed pork kebabs with sweet potato hash. And that was brought to us by Terry Crandall of Gardnerville, Nevada. Second up, and just finished by the judges, was the summer salmon rolls with garlic lemon sauce that was brought to us by cook-off veteran Renata Stanko of Lebanon, Oregon. And we're judging right now on the third item, and the our fourth chef is cooking up right now, and I'm not sure how we're doing. How are we doing on time on number? How much? Less than 10. Less than 10 minutes left for our fourth contestant. 8 contestants in all vying for the garlic crown, the coveted garlic crown, which will be presented here in just a little bit. I want to introduce you to one of our judges, and we'll get to meet all of them. Adam, give Adam Sanchez a big round of applause, would you please? You know, you've been on that end of things, and you know all too well what they're going through right now. Tell me a little bit about what it's like on either side.
Well, it's nicer on this side, less pressure.
When did you win, and what did you make? Do you remember?
2001, and I made Grand Marnier marinated duck pot stickers.
And they still talk about them today. I think we had them bronzed a short time later. But tell me what goes through their head.
You know, it's funny when you show up, you're relaxed, you've had a lot of time to practice a recipe. So when you first get here, you're a little calm, and the time shoots off, and you start to cook, and you start to prep, and all of a sudden you look down, and you got 10 minutes left, and you start to panic, and so you have all the different emotions going: calm, a little excited, a little nervous, then panic, and then more panic, and then you panic again when they make you all line up and judge.
This gives you new perspective, though, in being a judge. Can you tell me what you personally look for? What are you really trying to get out of a dish to try to differentiate A from B?
Well, obviously it's a garlic festival. You really look for the use and the flavor of garlic. You don't want it to overpower anything. You don't want it to be underwhelming. Almost you want to say at the restaurant, we say kissed, not kicked by garlic. So that's one of the main things we look at, the creativity, and you don't want something threw together. But the panel predecessing the competition does a good job with that with Gilroy, and so just as long as all the flavors meld together really well and it's real nicely balanced and a little crunch and a little, everything in the dish, it's good.
How do you? This is a marathon here of garlic tasting. How do you sort of set the bar with your first dish and then work your way through on numbers in terms of balance?
That's why they give us erasers.
Adam Sanchez from Elias Restaurant. Give him a big round of applause, would you?
Hey, Dan.
I like that phrase, kissed and not kicked
Yeah.
by garlic. That is so true. He nailed that.
Because while it is the garlic festival and we need big garlic flavor, anything overwhelming is not necessarily good. Katie, what do you have?
Well, I just wanted to say hello to all of our people coming in to our garlic cook-off stage right now. The gates opened at 10, so people are trickling in, and we want to welcome you to the 2014 Great Garlic Cook-Off if you've just joined us.
And what's happening here, for those of you who just arrived, is that we have 8 contestants. And if you've never been to the cook-off stage before, these 8 contestants are vying for the Great Garlic Crown and a big healthy check. This is one of the most coveted awards in all of competitive cooking, quite literally, across the country. These eight contestants are coming up every 15 minutes. We had number 1 here, number 2, number 3, number 4. Our last 4 are in the back there, and they will come forward. And then Wendy, tell us about the judging process. Wendy Brody is here. Give Wendy a big round of applause. And Wendy has been a judge. She is a chef, and she knows all too well how this process goes through. So once those dishes get up there, what happens from there, Wendy?
Oh gosh, well once the judges get them, they've got good scoring sheets to help remind them of what they're tasting, so because you can't go back and forth. So anyway, they're looking, I think, for taste, and as Adam so brilliantly said, kissed by garlic, not kicked by it. And that's what like Gourmet Alley, they told me that in different words years ago when I took a tour. But they can table talk among themselves and come to a consensus, but they do individually score. And so I used to be the deciding judge, which everybody was always so close when they reached this point of the contest. Every dish has wonderful components, there are complexities, there's simplicity, and hopefully a new twist on something always surfaces, and that's what we look for.
And what's interesting, if you are just joining us right now, is that gates opened at 10 o'clock, but these chefs have been here since very early this morning, prepping. They're in a kitchen they're unfamiliar with, outdoors. It's not their own. This is all unfamiliar territory,
Right.
which also factors into this whole process. I couldn't imagine getting on a plane. These contestants come to us from all over the country and making it work in an environment you are completely unfamiliar with. So a big round of applause for all of these people for making the trip here, for making it to this final 8. Wendy, you go through hundreds of recipes.
Well, I don't know the exact number because I've been the consultant that picks the 8 contestants. And a couple of years ago, Dennis Harrington and his wife came up with the idea. They said, can we come down and watch you test the recipes? And from then
Not
on,
watch.
it just blossomed.
They wanted to eat them too, because you're
Yes.
such a brilliant
Well,
cook, chef.
All the recipes come in. The Garlic Festival Cook-Off Committee pre-screens to make sure there's the right amount of garlic, that they can all be completed within 2 hours. So there are a lot of details that get sorted out before I get the recipe. So by the time they come to me, I get darn good, beautiful recipes, which makes it even harder. And so I pick out a number of them that we try, and the Garlic Festival Committee drives all the way down to Carmel, and we cook up a storm over either 1 or 2 days, each person doing 3 or 4 more recipes. We evaluate them, we tally them like the judges do separately, and that's how we get our first, second, third, up to 8, and a couple of alternates in case one made it through the cracks. And we had one person, I'll tell a secret that maybe I'm not supposed to, but you're allowed to enter 2 recipes. And somehow we missed the recipe. So one woman actually made it through with 2 top recipes, so we had to go to an alternate.
My goodness. Well, that's what the alternate is there for then.
That's how good these contestants are. Each one of their recipes is so good that it's hard to choose.
That you could enter 2.
Well, they used to be more, and like up to 10. We got 10 recipes sometimes from one person, and that was excruciating because at that point they're competing against themselves.
Against themselves,
Yes.
exactly. And speaking of the recipes, we do want to remind you that the Garlic Festival Cookbook has all of the recipes that you see here and many more, so you can go home and try all of these yourself. These are $7, and right around the corner, right outside the entrance to the stage here, you'll see a little booth. You can pick these up. $7. Also for sale there are the cook-off art aprons. Those are $20. And they also have reusable grocery bags this year for $4. So as you roam around the Garlic Festival throughout the day, pick up a bag, and you can take all your goodies home there.
You are looking, Katie, at Cabana Crab Sizzlin' Summer Shooters.
Those look so good.
Margie's here. You're a veteran.
I am.
Tell me about your experience with the Garlic Festival over the years.
I keep coming back because it's so much fun. Everyone's so friendly. It's just a great festival, and I'm so happy to be a part of it every time that I come.
Where are you from?
White Salmon, Washington.
Fantastic. You made these, for those who just arrived, tell us what you made and a little about it.
So it's a layered shooter. So the first layer is Dungeness crab. The next layer has a horseradish, avocado, tomato mixture. Then you have a watermelon granita, which is an ice, and that has spice in it, and it has garlic, and it has watermelon. And then the top is whipped cream that's been infused with garlic and bay leaves, and a little bit of crispy prosciutto for the top.
The prosciutto is, frankly, a stroke of genius.
Thank you.
Wendy, we've said this, you can't go wrong with bacon in any way,
Right,
you know,
right.
and so it's sort of, why, though? Why'd you put it in? Just to give it that extra?
Give it the extra pop.
You're all freaked out because your granita is kind of melting.
It is melting.
Judges are aware of that. It's hot.
Okay.
But you know, ours melted a
Oh,
little
did it?
bit too, and we ate every bit. We kept, is there more? Is
Wendy,
there
what
more?
was it about this recipe that drew you to it?
Oh, it was so refreshing. And again, it was a different preparation than we've ever had in my years of being here.
Good.
So we were just so intrigued. It was a different category. It was visually beautiful, but the taste, it had the spice, it had the coolness, it had the ice, it had the crisp. It had every component. So even though it was complex, everything went together. I mean, avocado, crab, watermelon,
You know what?
prosciutto.
A lot of people think that you have to make a big giant entree or so on. That's not about this, really. And, you know, you really kind of caught the spirit here with the shooter. Were you afraid just sending in something like that?
No, not really, because I know that Wendy and whoever judges the recipes, they're looking for something different. They've had paella, which is wonderful. We all love it. But our scampi, they've had that year after year, and you've got to come up with something new. And when I was on the plane ride, I was just saying on the way home from the last time, I had to sit out 4 years, and I knew what I was going to do. I just had to work on it.
Absolutely. It's very, very difficult. But you don't, like you said, you don't want to do scampi. We've got a few guys who do that pretty well themselves.
Margie is one of those that just sends in the most interesting recipes, and I think I've even called you over the years, okay, which one do you want? Because she ends up competing against herself many times. She just is a wealth of creativity.
Well, I'm glad it's down to just 2, because then the pressure's off, and it's like, okay, I've got to come up with just 2 great recipes. So.
Fantastic.
Anyway,
We do have a couple veterans here, several veterans here, and there are rules that come with that. I mean, you can be a repeater. Once you win, you get the garlic crown and you carry on as a veteran. But there are rules. You had to sit out.
I did.
Tell me why you had to sit out.
It's painful because I took first the last time I was here.
Right. Fantastic. So there you go. There are rules that come with this. They're very intense, but it is the most coveted crown in all of competitive cooking, the Great Garlic Braid. Katie, we've got some great people that make all this possible for us as well.
We do. One of our major sponsors, but I think I might need your help on this, Dan. Christopher Ranch, of course. Let's give a great big hand. They make it possible. One of our sponsors. I am told we may give these garlic cloves to the crowd. I was told to throw them. I don't know that I should be responsible for the throwing of the garlic. Yay!
All right, we'll have some
No
more
one
of
was
those.
Are they
in the
signed?
We'll have some more.
We will bring out some more. But yes, Christopher Ranch is one of our major sponsors that makes this cook-off possible. We also want to say thank you to Raley's, Bel Air, and Nob Hill Foods, Rabobank, South County Chrysler, and Dole Fresh Vegetables. We have a very long list of sponsors in addition to that, and we will get to those in just a moment. It looks like the judges have gotten their crab shooters, Dan?
That's right, and Margie is here. Judges, we have Margie for any questions that you may have, but sometimes they have questions and sometimes they don't. They're testing out the crab shooter, and we're going to see how that goes over, trying to determine whether the garlic flavor is just right. You've been through this before. As Tom Petty says, the waiting is the hardest part.
It is. I'm trying to get a clue from their faces,
And never.
They're like poker players over there.
They're pretty savvy at that sort of thing, and so, all right. Doesn't look like we have many questions from our judges. Like I said, that could be good. It could be bad. I'm sure it's just fine. Margie is a veteran. If you want to get a close look at Margie's shooter, here it is. Take a look at it. We have a lot of great competitors here. How about a big round of applause for Margie, please? Margie Berry from White Salmon, Washington, with her Cabana Crab Sizzling Summer Shooters. Katie?
I haven't gotten a chance to say hello to Majid Barini from Mamma Mia's restaurant. Majid, thank you so much for being out here again with us. I see you.
Nice to be here.
And you, I see, have already gotten a taste. Some of the judges are still waiting. What are your thoughts so far?
Very nice consistency, nice presentation, and you can taste the garlic in this dish.
You can.
Dishes you couldn't. And it's very nice way of using the garlic. Very consistent and colorful. Very nice.
I was interested and intrigued by the whipped cream, the garlic-infused whipped cream. Good?
Very good. Very good. That's where first garlic pops in your mouth. First thing that you get, and very nice, consistent.
And a really creative way to think of garlic. I mean, we have our garlic ice cream, and we've seen so many ways to use it, but I don't think in all the years we've been out here that I have seen a garlic whipped cream.
No, we use it in the restaurant, but here I've never seen it. I mean, whipped cream in certain dishes, especially very light seafood dishes, we use it, but I've never seen it here.
Delicious. Thank you so much for your thoughts. All right. Majid Barini, Mamma Mia's Restaurant. All right, Dan, we are now on our fourth dish of the day. Thank you all. If you are just coming to join us right now, thank you for joining us at the Great Garlic Cook-Off 2014. You are all just arriving, some of you, but these cooks, they have been here for hours, prepping, getting ready. They have to make sure that these dishes can be done within this 2-hour time frame. They are all staggered within about 15 minutes of each other, I believe, and that's how the judges receive these presentations. So again, all staggered, so we have 4 down, 4 to go. And I think, Wendy, can you tell us about our next contestant?
Cheer a Little, number 5. She has a garlic pepper bacon jam with pork tenderloin sliders and a new ingredient she created, pickles, fried pickles. And anyway, this looks so patriotic over here and so delicious. One might be missing if they don't quick get it over. She's been so creative.
This was one of the dishes that as soon as we got here, somebody got in my ear and said, somebody is making fried pickles wrapped in prosciutto.
Yes. And, you know, we were talking about that other ingredient, bacon.
Bacon. You're
You'll
seeing a lot of it this
experience
year.
that on this. It's so creative.
One of those things that you just kind of say to yourself, I'm going to take a pickle and I'm going to wrap it in bacon. It's like being inspired on a Sunday morning at church.
And naming it Piggle.
It's just that good. And so Cher's working on presentation right now. And,
How many
and
more
the
minutes do
clock
we have
is
there, Dan?
ticking down. 4 minutes left. So now she thought she only had a minute or so, and she actually has 4. So
And
she's
isn't that
gonna
funny how
she's
4
gonna light up a
minutes-
cigar and have a whiskey and
Exactly.
let the time go by.
4
But
minutes
so
becomes an
working on
eternity.
she's working on the presentation right here.
Isn't that fun with barbed wire
And so we have the sliders, and the pickles are actually presented on top. So can you see them on top?
Isn't
Right
that
from the
fun?
outside, you just see the bacon. I thought we were going to get the whole thing, but she cut them up and she just put them on top because it can be overwhelming. You don't want it to be too much.
Well, if these weren't mini sliders, she might do the whole
Sure.
piggle. But, oh, gosh, they're such fun presentations.
How you feeling about it, Sharon?
Oh, fantastic. Now I was really worried. I was so worried, and now I feel really good.
How did the piggle concept, a pickle wrapped in bacon, how did that come to you?
Because I love bacon fried stuffed jalapenos. And so I knew that if I did something a little different and adorned it, that I might get chosen. And here I am with a pickle. Bacon
Is there garlic in the pickle?
The dill pickle actually has garlic in it, so because of the dill.
And then tell me about your sliders.
The sliders, I did a fantastic pork, which usually my pork tenderloin comes off the grill, but I didn't want to bring a grill all the way from Austin, Texas. So I had to compensate and put it in the oven. And it's got rosemary and sage, and then the jam is packed full of Fresno peppers, purple onions, a really good flavor of balsamic, a little bit of everything.
Come over here for a second. I want to show you. This is your pork. I want to show you the pork that you made. Normally you would just do this on the grill. It looks terrific, but it had to be the one spot that you were scared to death about.
It was because we broke our first thermometer because we left it in there. And you can't just push pork and go, okay, it's ready. But it came out. It's beautiful. Once you taste it, all the juices and the layers are going to come together for you with that jam and that arugula. The arugula has even got a little bit of the garlic water juice from it. You pour the garlic water juice over the arugula.
And really bring out that flavor.
Yeah, all the garlic you can.
Trying to tie it all together all the way around.
It's all the way tied together. You're also going to get the garlic in the jam.
And you got a little arugula going on here in the whole
A
bit.
mess, but yeah, arugula.
All right, you got about a minute and a half. I'm going to get out of your way and let you finish up plating.
Look at all that bacon.
She's
Do
got-
we snitch?
I'm just going to test it just to make sure it's okay, Frank. That's all right. Frank.
I don't know that
I
that's
know him.
allowed, Dan.
Oh, thank you.
It's awfully good. So
Dan, did you just grab the bacon?
I it was a safety issue. I have to make sure that the judges are safe at all times.
I got it.
What's going on over there anyway?
Well, we're waiting for this next beautiful dish. These judges have a tough decision today. So far, we've gone through our first 4 dishes out of 8 contestants at this year's Great Garlic Cook-Off. And
This next
really,
one.
I mean, it is going to be a very difficult one. There are varied recipes. They come from our chefs come to us from all over the country. So all of the inspirations
She's
are
the one
different
that-
and interesting and unique. We want to say thank you to our panel of judges who have joined us today to be a part of all of this. And I wanted to say hello to Jason Levinsky. He's the executive chef at Hyatt Fisherman's Wharf. Thank you for joining
Hyatt
us, Jason.
Fisherman's Wharf, ladies and gentlemen.
While we wait for our next dish, tell me a little bit about your thoughts so far on this whole
She's the
process.
one
You know,
Hannah,
cooking for
that
professionals,
did
I'm sure
the
it's super
salad
nerve-wracking.
and-
The only thing I would say is, you know, this is the Garlic Festival, so don't be afraid to use garlic in your recipes. And, you know, they're all doing a great job so far.
Now, what do you think about what goes into the process as far as judging? What do you look for besides obviously the presence of the garlic? What hits you first? Is it presentation? Is it taste? Is it
You know, presentation is always the, you know, the first thing you see, so that's going to be your first instinct. And then, you know, I'm just looking for flavor profiles that go well together, you know, definitely salt and balance of the garlic.
Hey, can I ask you, Jason, a question? Because as a chef at the Hyatt Fisherman's Wharf in San Francisco, you know, people are showing up from literally around the world to eat your food, and they're looking for the flavors that they're expecting, whether it be a seafoods and you know, the garlics and the other things. How do you? One of the things that we're doing is weaving garlic through all of this, and yet we have to find that perfect balance. You have to do it with an entire menu in terms of finding a balance to keep those core flavors that they want and really give them a surprise, and yet not make it too overwhelming.
So how do I find my balance?
Yeah.
Is have everybody that's around me taste my food, you know, because everybody else's palates will tell you something different. So if you have, the more people you have give you feedback, the more you can hone in on the right flavor combinations.
Fantastic. Jason, I'm going to get out of your way because there's a pickle in front of you, and I don't want to get caught between anyone else and a pickle, because I would run over a man for a pickle, to be honest with you.
I'm sharing secrets of where to get these tiny cowboy hats. This is so adorable. I love the whole pickle idea, but for me, because I'll be honest, I'm not a great cook, so I'm really into presentation because I'm hoping that kind of, you know. So tell us a little bit more. Are you worried right now that the judges have it in front of them?
No, because I see them taking a second bite, and that to me means that it's really good. Plus, I've tried this recipe about 3 times, actually.
3 times?
I didn't have time because I had surgery. I didn't have time to really practice a lot. So I put the flavors together in my mouth. I'd already worked on the jam years ago, and I just pulled that recipe out and started going at it. And I ended up with a fried pickle, which is a piggle, bacon wrapped.
Oh, I love.
Yeah.
Now, tell me a little bit more about what's going on inside.
Okay, so inside, it's a Hawaiian sweet bun, the little mini dinner rolls, and inside is a homemade jam, which is red pepper jelly that I kind of stole a little bit from, so it's not completely homemade. And then I put in a lot of garlic, a lot of California Fresno peppers, even though I'm from Texas. And then I did a lot of sweet mini peppers, some purple onion, just a little bit of, or not a little bit, a lot of garlic juice. So you take your pickled garlic juice, and that just gives that jam just that little extra of garlic. Everything's got garlic in it. I have to cook with garlic. So there's garlic all over the pork. The pork has also got a little bit of smoked paprika to bring out a Texas theme, which is the cowboy theme. It's also got rosemary and sage. And all those flavors with the arugula, which has also been dressed in garlic. It's actually a pickled garlic they provided for me here, which I really loved. I could have drank it. So the arugula's in that and some lemon juice and some fresh cracked pepper.
Sounds amazing. And amazing that you can think of all of those things that go together.
to the palette, and then I put it on paper and keep it on my computer, and I'm ready to write a cookbook.
It really is art. I mean, when it comes down to it all, thinking of all of this, putting it all together, making it taste so great, the presentation, it really looks great, Shara. Do any of our judges have any questions right now for Shara while we have her?
Look at what he did.
Do you have
Oh
the
my
hats in a larger
goodness.
size? Mine's fitting sort of like a yarmulke right now.
Or it's like a
Shalom, y'all.
it's like a Kate Middleton fascinator. It might be like the new thing.
What did y'all think of the fried pickle?
Shara wants to know about the pickle.
I can speak on the pickle.
This is Evelyn.
I wasn't sure at first if I was supposed to eat the whole sandwich with the pickle or eat the pickle by itself. So I think we did a little bit of both. I mean, it was a big bite, but I made it. It had it in a nice combination. The pickle, it's kind of like as if it was like inside the sandwich, and then you eat it by itself, and it's a different experience because you got more of the pickle. And the bacon, you're like, whoa, okay, but it's good. So yeah, that's my experience on the pickle.
I'm wondering about that because the separation of it, do you think you could do that on its own as just like a little hors d'oeuvre?
Oh, put those out? Yeah, absolutely. They're yummy.
Any other questions for Shara? All right. Everything's better with bacon. And you know what? As Dan said, sometimes when it's quiet here, it's a good thing because they're all eating. Looks like they're really enjoying it.
Well, thank you for having me. Coming from Austin's been great, and everybody here is just absolutely fantastic. Couldn't ask for a better town to be in.
Go Rice the Best.
Jelly yours or one that you bought?
From Fisher and Weiser, and then I bumped it up with all of my stuff. So it's about a cup of Fisher and Weiser, and then the rest is all my creation.
All right. All right. Shara, thank you so much. Thank you
Kate,
so much, Shara.
with all the presentation in the proud state of Texas and all the new chef's coats that they issued. But I think Shara did such a beautiful job with herself, making this a jacket and her cowboy. I mean, she carried this theme all the way to herself.
the way
We
from
can't miss
Texas.
that. Can't miss that.
Yay. No. And I was going to talk about the necklace because it's girl talk. But we're
Yes,
here for food.
yes,
We're here for
and
food.
the belt,
I
and
know,
and
I
look
know.
at that.
Shara brought it from Texas.
See?
Let's give her a big hand, everyone.
We know we're girls when we start
know,
noticing
I know.
this. The
When we
guys
start
would
turning
never
this into like
point
a
that
jewelry
out.
show.
You guys, the Great Garlic Cook-Off is an international competition and representing Canada this year. And next up is Stacy Clayton from British Columbia, Canada. Give her a big round of applause. Do we have some Canadians out there? A little love for the Canadians, eh? Stacy, where are you from?
Outside of Vancouver, Canada.
Say the name, it's okay.
Well, Seashell, the Sunshine Coast.
We have no idea where that is. Yeah. Stacy is here. She's running down. What's our time on Stacy? Stacy's got a couple more minutes left. She's finishing up. And you, Wendy, were particularly taken by this recipe and the presentation that came to us from the Garlic Festival from Canada.
Well, thank you. I want to learn to print like you. You need to be a teacher, so it's not a lost art anymore.
Katie, penmanship can help you in the Garlic Festival.
But I was so touched with the story of being here last year as a contestant and what you were inspired by, the local ingredients of goat cheese and olive oil and of course, the garlic and strawberries. So I was really touched with your presentation. So keep up the good work. I don't know whether I want you to win or not, because then it'll go away.
Now, here, tell me a little bit about this recipe and what you were thinking, Wendy, when you were making it.
Oh, well, what was so nice about having a salad is that it's so refreshing, and you don't always think of garlic and salads together other than
Sure.
it might be in a dressing. But she had such a creative use of garlic candied nuts, and so that was very intriguing.
We got a lot of the Central Coast being represented.
Yeah,
We sort of have
the
the Watsonville
strawberries,
strawberries.
yeah,
You have the
goat
salad
cheese.
components. Yes, absolutely. The greens. And you found it light. Garlic in this environment, mixing garlic with fruit can be terrific.
yes.
It can be a
Or-
disaster.
yes,
Yeah. So
yes. This had the right, as they said, flavor profile. It wasn't overwhelming. It was kissed. It was just good crunch, smoothness from the goat cheese, freshness and tartness of the berries. So it kind of, it was just really good and varied flavors, layered flavors.
well, we're going to bring this on up, and while you're taking a look at that, let me talk to you, Stacy. Stacy, tell me where the idea for this came from. Come on out here. Tell me where the idea for this came from.
Well, it came from I love to cook with local produce where I come from, and here you guys have an abundance of amazing farms and produce, and I love to cook straight from the farm, and so we went.
You have farms in Canada?
We have a few.
Sun comes out there?
It does.
Sun? Get out of town. I thought it was just like hockey, and that was it.
Oh.
I'm kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. But really, you brought a lot of the Central Coast. Is there some Canada in here?
Oh yeah, there's maple syrup in here.
Now, is there really?
There absolutely is.
Now, maple syrup and garlic, Wendy, I can see that. Let me tell you, I can see that. So again, you wanted to incorporate all these things. When did you first try it and say, I'm really close?
Well, I ate local produce when I was here last year, and so when I went home, I thought there's a lot of farms locally here. I could find things to make the salad with, and we went through from San Francisco down through Pescadero and Half Moon Bay to the local farms there, and got basically just about everything from the goat cheese to the lettuce to the strawberries. It was amazing.
What'd you do with the goat cheese?
Well, we put a lot of roasted garlic in the goat cheese. A lot.
Just, are you afraid it may be too much?
Absolutely not. We're at the Garlic Festival.
How do you want them to eat this to mix in the goat cheese, do you think, to get the perfect bite? I know you got a great presentation here, but
But grab a piece of the goat cheese and then dig in.
dig in. And Wendy, when you made this, how'd your goat cheese come out?
Well, gosh, I mean, it looked like that. We needed to chill it to make it a little more
Rounds, yeah.
cuttable. And our team does such a good job, and we asked all the contestants for the last couple of years to send a photograph. As I said, a photograph is worth 1,000 words. It really helps us know what's on their mind, because when you're writing and creating your own recipe, you think you've said something and we don't get it until afterwards, so it really is helpful.
You're pretty. You love garlic. You can pretty much tell. Can you tell me how big of a part of like just your regular family meals and such the garlic is?
Every day, honestly. And as soon as it's locally available, I buy it. I don't like store-bought. I'm not shooting down any stores, but farm fresh garlic is the way I like to eat it. So.
You like to take it, mince it yourself, and
Oh, get it fresh, squish it, roast it, eat it on everything, and cook it all the time.
how is it with back bacon exactly?
Oh well, I'll eat it with back bacon if I have.
I'll eat it. Yeah, you know what? You can cook it for us. It'd be terrific. We wish you a lot of luck with this, because I got to tell you really did something challenging here. But if it pays off, it could pay off very, very big for you. I honestly don't recall ever, and I've been doing this for a long time,
A salad?
that I don't recall a salad. Do you?
Yeah, no, well, not
I
for
mean,
the
there have
last
been
9
salad
years.
components, and
Yeah.
we've had some dressing kind
You
of
know,
things.
mostly
but
it's-
I don't know. This may be one of our first salads ever, and I got to tell you, I think that the goat cheese was a stroke of genius. Really, to bring it together, to really make it stand out and set apart, and it can be a great binder and bring that flavor of
Yes.
the fruit into the whole thing. So we'll see how it goes. You got to be feeling pretty good though, right?
I'm just happy to be here. Thank you.
How'd you do on time?
I'm finishing a few minutes ahead of time, but it was a little bit scrambly there in the middle, for sure.
And most of your scrambly part, what took the most?
Washing all the vegetables because they were so fresh that I wanted it to stay alive until we got here. So
You just literally are.
wash and scrub and spinning, and thank goodness for Chris, or else I would still be spinning.
Very good. How about a big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen? All right, Stace, we're gonna get this up to the judges, and we're gonna talk to you again in just a minute. But the time thing is a big part of this. We have two other contestants now
Yes.
behind that have to. The clock is a factor, and what you present to the judges. We see it on TV a lot. But in this real environment, when
It's
you
hard.
don't remember on TV, we do give them some help though to try and compensate. That sous chef or that assistant is really important.
Oh, it really is. And for those coming later, the Garlic Festival Cook-Off Committee comes down, helps me test all the recipes. So they are familiar, they are practiced. Not only have they pre-screened the recipes, but we do need to cook them because we have to know they can be done within a 2-hour period.
Right.
So not only do we need to experience what the flavors are, but we need to test our timing. So it really is good. And so that makes the assistants really knowledgeable in how to help the contestants.
And our assistants have been here, many of them for well over a decade or many more. Give a big round of applause for our cook-off staff here, our stage staff. A terrific group. Katie, where are we now?
I can't believe we're looking at number 6 already. You're just talking about time, and it flies for us. I can't even imagine what it feels like to be one of these contestants. I mean, it goes quickly. They have 2 hours to complete these recipes. They're all staggered. The judges receive them every 15 minutes, and it gets crazy.
And so literally, Katie, they're delivering right now.
The summer salad out
And-
of Canada.
And you can, if you just joined us, over here you see nice people holding these up. These contain all of the recipes that are being presented here today at the Great Garlic Cook-Off, and then some. There's a whole lot more stuff in here. And Kate, we take this home every year. Sometimes we've made some amazing stuff out of here.
We do. And everything, as Dan said, that you're seeing here and then some is available in this cookbook. And you can get it right around the corner here. They're selling them for $7. You can also get, of course, your commemorative 2014 garlic art apron, also around the corner. You can pick that up for $20. Also, this year they're doing reusable grocery bags, which is a great thing, for $4. So as you go around the park today and pick up all sorts of fun stuff, you can use that.
All right. Katie, why don't you take us over and we'll see the judges and
All
see
right,
how
we're
we're
gonna go
doing on
see
this.
how they
And
are
while she's
responding there.
doing that, I just want to let you know a little bit about timing and what's happening here. It's about 11:30 right now, and at 12:15 we will crown the winner of the Great Garlic Cook-Off with the Garlic Crown. They'll be awarded a giant check. In all seriousness, I'm not kidding when I tell you that this is one of the, if not the most coveted crowns in all of competitive eating. The reputation of the Gilroy Garlic Festival across the country is enormous, and that's due in large part to the remarkable crowd of volunteers that come back each year, the rotation of chairmen, the rotation of committee heads that bring new, fresh ideas to this event, and that is one of the reasons why it is so respected across the country and why you have so much fun each and every year. And while you're here this year, we hope you take part in Gourmet Alley and the garlic fries and all of the great things that we have to offer here. And we're going to crown the winner of the Great Garlic Cook-Off at 12:15. And all afternoon on this stage, you will have some terrific presentations, things that you can take away, you can use from our celebrity chefs that are going to teach you amazing things about what to do with garlic. So we hope you can do that too. And Wendy, Katie's over there with our next contestant as she's getting judged right now.
You know, one of the things, too, talking about the Garlic Festival, each year the stage changes and the electronics and change and get better and better. The carpets, the cooking equipment, the way the table is set, the whole committee it does so much. I mean, even the shade screens over
Used to be, we didn't have shade screens.
No, and the plants aren't wilting. We can still not be dripping right, left,
Yes.
and center. So really, they do so much, far beyond the garlic festival. As I say, they spend
Yeah.
their weekend with me cooking up a storm.
Katie, we're judging salad over there.
We've got a lot of information coming into us right here. We just had a shot of the garlic here from Christopher Ranch, which, again, Dan, I may need your help on this one. Unless Wendy has an arm. Do you have a surprise
I
arm? I'm
might.
terrified to throw this into the crowd, but we have some garlic to give away.
They're
We also-
beautiful. Okay.
All right. Go for it, Wendy.
Whoops. Oh, darn. I better give it up to Dan.
I know. When Dan gets back, we're going to start tossing some garlic. We also wanted to let you know, first of all, welcome to the Great Garlic Cook-Off 2014. If you are just joining us today, we're starting to see the stands fill up, and we are making our way through this. We are looking at our summer salad here, which is our 6th entry. We have 2 more left. The judges will then, they have been tabulating as the morning has progressed, and then all of those tabulations will go back, and everything will be added up. So although we say noon for our announcement, actually, they're going to get those numbers about noon, so you have to be patient and stick with us till about 12:15, 12:20. Takes them a little bit of time to make all of these tabulations, make sure we are spot on with our first, second, third, because there's money involved here.
Yes.
And
yes.
prestige. This is a huge honor to win this contest, and so many people have sent in recipes from all across the country, and these 8 people have made fantastic, fantastic recipes, and all
They're
the
all
judges are
winners.
just, so far, they're wowed. I mean, with the combinations and the garlic and the presentations, it really is fun. So we're going to check in with the judges right now, and we're going to perhaps ask Adam Sanchez here how he's feeling about our summer salad out of Canada. Oh, wrong time to ask. I'm like the waitress who comes by and is like, would you like anything else, right in the middle of the mouthful. What do you think, Adam?
It's good. It's, got a little crunch to it. The dressing's good. And the strawberries, sweet and sour with the cheese, and it's good. It's a good combo.
And I hear there's, of course, from Canada, little maple syrup in there. Can you take, how is that combo going? Is that where you're getting
the sweet from? Yeah, it's good.
And how do you feel about at these when you're judging and the temperature starts to rise? Does it make a difference to you guys, whether you're doing a cold dish, a hot dish? Does it factor in, or is it all just about taste?
Yeah, it's all about taste. I think the weather's not going to affect our decision too much. So,
Does anyone have any questions? Do we have our chef? All right, hang on, Jason. Let me come on over here. What are your thoughts?
Well, as a judge, too, you have to sit here and also, because of the weather and the way things are staged and stuff, you have to also take into your judging process of knowing how this should have been, like if it was icy cold, things like that, so you can sort of articulate in your mind saying, okay, this would have been this or that, so you're not deducting points unnecessarily because, yeah, the greens aren't as cold, but we know that you're under this hot tent and things like that. So those are some of the things you also take into consideration when you're judging is we know the condition working, so you think about this would have tasted this way cold or the way it was supposed to be. So.
And I imagine that would come in. I thought of that with the shooters, especially with the crab shooters, because that's something that you have to have.
Yeah, exactly. The Granita had in a small glass container at 95 degrees, it really didn't stand a chance. But you again take that into consideration how the ice flakes in the Granita would have been as far as a contrast and things like that. So,
judges, any questions for Stacy? Any questions?
No, but I have to show off her printing again because we just don't see this anymore. Look at that page after page of hand printed.
So
Isn't that incredible? Yes, I
I couldn't
in
do
this
that
age
any
of
longer.
computer,
I
it's
know.
long gone. That's
Signing-
why I
yeah.
have to just tout
Yeah.
our efforts a little bit.
And Stacey's been with us before.
Last year was
Yeah.
the first year, and the first time Canada, I think, has ever entered. So that was, we've
Oh, we've
gone
had other
beyond
Canada.
our borders.
You're right. I keep saying they would come to us from across the country, but
Yes.
you're right. We're
Yes.
expanding.
Yes.
Expanding our borders. Dan, what do you have?
Katie, right now we are plating crispy pork plan tacos with garlicky black bean sauce from Jennifer Beckman, Falls Church, Virginia. Give her a big round of applause, would you? Jennifer has about 6.5 minutes left or so. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling all right. I'm building my magical tacos and trying to make them the most garlicky, fabulous bite of the afternoon.
Your meat looks terrific. I don't want you're plating. I don't want to get in your way and get blamed here because she's literally building these plan tacos as we speak. Wendy, tell us a little bit about this
I
dish.
had to see this dish because when we were making it, our plan tacos with the plantains did not come out this beautifully. We needed you because it took some skill. And again, this is one reason I get the book, because this was really a fun dish. And we loved learning how to make these, although yours are perfect and ours weren't.
I think the trick is
Yeah.
the trick is using a really high quality parchment paper.
Hang on a second. We can't hear you. Say that one more time.
Oh, well, there's lots of parchment paper on the market, and some of it is glazed with silicone, and some of it is just the paper. And when you have the silicone stuff, they come off quite easily.
Oh, well, maybe that was our problem, because ours kind of got too crispy and broke, and we thought it was so good. It sounded so wonderful because it was the plantains and egg whites, and it was just such a nutritious base for your enchilada or plan taco.
Now the plan taco here.
Yes.
The plan taco here, Wendy. She's finding that balance there. She's got the meat that's going to pop and the avocado that's going to sort of flatten it out. Little acid here with the onion, and then the cilantro. And are you going to do sort of a roasted garlic on top, or was that just to mix it?
That's just gradu left from when I picked the garlic cloves out and mixed them in with the pork.
Okay.
Gradu being a technical term.
Sure.
The other thing is the plantains lend a little bit of sweetness to the tortilla, and so the black bean garlic sauce, which you can't see very well, it's on the bottom layer, it sort of balances sweet and earthy. So, I'm trying to do balance in a number of different directions here, rich and acidic, earthy, sweet, and trying
Sure.
to...
And this is the black. I want you to get a look at that. The black bean garlic sauce. You look at this, and I think, boy, that looks like pudding. But the consistency, I think that is a lot of fun, because one thing that I don't like in a black bean, particularly when I'm having a burrito or a taco or tostada or something like that, I don't like dryness. I like the ability to spread it around and really get the flavor mixed in.
Yes.
And I personally think that her consistency is terrific and will add a lot to the dish.
Also, you said that you like using coconut oil. Why
I do.
that?
Well, there's sort of a school of nutritional thought right now that says that coconut oil and other, plant-based saturated fats are powerful anti-inflammatories. And so we still use a lot of olive oil at our house, but we also have started using coconut oil, which, may have these wonderful anti-inflammatory properties, and it tastes magically delicious. It adds this richness and sort of an unctuousness.
It does have crazy flavor to it.
Well, that's what I liked about a recipe.
When
Yeah.
you're using coconut oil.
Real quick, we're going to take a brief break. Kate is over with a very, very, very special guest that we have on the stage with us right now. Katie, who do you have with you?
Dan, I have one of the founding fathers of this festival. Everyone, please give a huge round of applause for Don Christopher. No, please stand. We have been chatting about this festival, its history, and I was just telling Dawn that I had taken the kids to Gilroy Gardens the other day and remembered that at the amphitheater there, and we were trying to think what year was that because we were celebrating a milestone. That was 25 years. Dan and I didn't have kids. This is we love coming out here year after year. You have done such a special thing here. Tell us about how this all started.
Well, it started 36 years ago, and it wasn't right here. It was over by 101 Highway on the way to Salinas, and it was still in the Gilroy area.
Use a silicone mat for this.
One of the gentlemen in Rotary Club, and he and I were friends, and we came up with the idea, he especially, hey, if they can have a garlic festival in France, we can have it here. And so we started out, and we figured we'd get 5,000 people for our party, and we got 20,000, and the mayor even decided maybe he'd come to the next one, you know. But we had an awfully good time, and then we set it up so that we get the volunteers, and the volunteers get paid for their charity, and that's really good. So all of them work just for something else, and it's for a charity that they choose, and wow, we've already done $4 million.
I was going to say, over the years, millions and millions of dollars going to local charities, and it really is a fantastic thing for this community.
I think Gilroy was put on the map because of the Garlic Festival.
Absolutely, it was put on the map because of the Garlic Festival. We are, what, year 36?
Yes.
Amazing. And what are your thoughts on just seeing it grow over the years?
It's fantastic.
I know.
I gotta tell you, we worked pretty hard, but it got there, and we had a different president every year.
Right.
Except for the first year. Rudy Malone was president, and he told me, he says at the end, because I was vice president, he said, okay, Don, you be president next year. I says, Rudy, I've never seen you so happy. I said, you be president for 2 years, and I'll be vice president for 2 years. And he was really thrilled. And he did a great job. And he actually really pushed the Garlic Festival really good for us.
Now, we have so many things that have evolved throughout the years at the Garlic Festival. Year one, is there something that is still, was there Gourmet Alley? Was that something later? Was there garlic ice cream? What was the hook?
Well,
year
you
one?
remember Val Felice?
Yes, of
well,
course.
He was at the first
Of
one,
course.
huh?
Wow.
And that's really how we got started with Gourmet Alley. He was such a good cook for so many people that we formed Gourmet Alley. And oh, has it been good. And everybody that also sells food here does
Right.
really well.
Right.
Because it's a food festival.
Well, it's
really
crazy. I mean, do you know off the top of your head how many pounds of garlic we're talking about just this year?
Here?
Yeah.
5,000.
5,000 pounds of garlic.
Yes.
Wow.
We actually grind up the cloves until they're small because they don't want big pieces here for the festival.
Sure.
And so we grind it up special for them.
Special for this.
Yes.
Amazing. Well, Don, Christopher, thank you so much for everything you have done for this community and for, like you said, putting Gilroy on the map. We
Thank
really
you.
appreciate you.
Thank you. Really appreciate you being here. Thank you, everybody, for being here.
Round of applause, Don Christopher, founding father of the Gilroy Garlic Festival, everyone.
All right, what's happening right now, our planned tacos are making their way up to the judges. Just follow the food, ladies and gentlemen. That's all you have to do. We only have one more contestant actually cooking right now before we're going to begin the tabulations. Now, what is going before the judges again, if you just joined us, is crispy pork plan tacos with garlicky black bean sauce. That's from Jennifer Beckman from Falls Church, Virginia. But Jennifer is going up against 7 other contestants. And to bring you up to speed, I'm going to actually, in just a second, I want to take you through the dishes that we have so far and remind you that these dishes are all available in the cookbook that is available. We'll have people walking around. You can get all of these recipes yourself and try them out. So, and within there, all of our 8 vying recipes, and I want to show you each of these dishes. First, Terry Crandall from Gardnerville, Nevada, made us the pomegranate sweet chili glazed pork kebabs with sweet potato hash. Look at that. That's sweet potato hash. Renata Stanko from Lebanon, Oregon, came down with summer salmon rolls in a garlic lemon sauce. That's poached salmon she made here today. And then blackened garlic enchiladas with avocados, artichokes, and tropical quinoa from Sonia Gergen of Moorhead, Minnesota. Margie Berry from White Salmon, Washington, made this fun cabana crab sizzling summer shooter for our judges. Just up a couple of minutes ago, with the Texas flair straight from Austin, garlic pepper bacon jam pork tenderloin sliders with fried piggles, Piggles, fried piggles, which are pickles wrapped in bacon because God wants it that way. Then garlic summer salad. This is spread out slightly different than the original presentation, but how fun is this? Garlic summer salad. This from Stacy Clayton from British Columbia, Canada, really bringing the flavors of the Central Coast to pop in a rare salad. In this spot will go our tacos, and in this spot right now, cooking in the back, and we'll talk to them. Kate, we're going to see how we're doing back there. We only got about 4 or 5 minutes, I think, in the back. Let's take a look and see what's cooking back there. But in this spot, Kate, in this spot, we will have sarsaparilla glazed Wild West burgers and Southwest
All right.
sweet potatoes.
I'm headed there.
From Suzanne Clark. And we're going to see how Suzanne is cooking up in the back corner back there.
I'm going the long way.
Oh, they look good. Kate, look at that.
Wow.
Wow. Wendy?
I'll move faster.
Yes.
Wendy, you made these burgers here. Tell us about it.
Well, since we have to read the recipe first, I just love the names of her components because she had Wrangler relish, cowboy sauce, and sweet potatoes again, and once again bacon. But again, the West. But she's from Arizona, not Texas. Anyway, again, the theme looks like it's coming together. And what she used for the Western sarsaparilla burgers was buffalo or bison. And that's a wonderful, wonderful meat because it is so lean. It's very healthy. And it'll be interesting to see, how tender it is, how it's going to come about. It looks like she's just done a beautiful job. So I wish I were tasting it right now.
Wendy, these look amazing.
Aren't they?
Suzanne, when we first started here, well, I breezed in a little bit before 10, and you had a big smile on your face. How are you feeling now as you're coming down to the wire?
Well, I'm a little hurried right now because we had a little oven snafu, but otherwise, I need more bacon. Otherwise, I'm doing good.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to fluster. More bacon into the mix. And Wendy, we're going to have to talk jewelry with Suzanne a bit later, too.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm stressing out right now. So
Look at that glaze.
It is an amazing dish. And again, the presentation, I think, is going to be...
And she's got all the wonderful ingredients that you associate with Southwest, jicama, corn, and the twist on everything is these sweet potatoes.
Really, it looks absolutely delicious. And Wendy, I can't believe that we are looking at our 8th dish.
Yeah.
This goes so quickly, and the stands are filling up, as it usually happens here at the Great Garlic Cook-Off. And if you are just joining us toward the end of this cook-off, we want to welcome you and say thank you for coming once again. This is always such a fun event. And in the morning, it's always very calm,
Yes.
cool, collected. And as we roll through the morning, It ramps up, and
it's-
everybody's getting really excited. We are down to the judges will be tasting our 7th dish at this point. Our 8th is on its way, and then the judges will tally everything up. That goes to the back. All those numbers will be checked, double checked, and then we will announce the winner of the
Yes.
2014 Great Garlic Cook-Off.
And the Garlic Festival, the committee, I'm walking by these strawberries. Have you ever seen any that are just more perfect than these right at this moment? They're
Yeah.
not overdone. There's no yellow on them at all. I just want to snitch a bunch
No,
of
I
them.
know. And it struck me, and I was overhearing, and I'm not even sure who was talking about the freshness of the vegetables that actually put them a little behind on their recipe because they were so fresh.
And
Had to
they,
be super
the
clean. I
committee,
mean, that's great.
Yeah. The committee has to source a lot of them. They're allowed to bring a few things with them, but for the most part, you know, it's a combined effort. So
the contestants then give the committee the list of what
gonna move.
it is they need. You were talking about black garlic. Are there certain things that the committee has had to seek out?
well, hopefully they know where to
Where to
source
find
them
it,
with
yes.
Don Christopher at the next table.
Of
yeah,
course, of
Christopher
course.
Ramp. But yeah, they're, you know, especially cooking and testing the recipes, even though we do most of the shopping and sourcing ourselves, my husband and I. But for this, you know, when
Right.
they're flying from all over the country, how do you bring all
Exactly,
that stuff?
exactly.
So they're the heroes behind the scenes.
Absolutely. Dan, tell us what's going on
Okay,
over
so
by the judges' table.
So Jennifer Beckman is here. She made the plan tacos, and the judges have just had a chance to eat those and take a look at them. Do you have any questions for our chef at all for the plan tacos? How'd you feel about it?
You know, I had some trouble with my plantain tortillas today. Whenever you're working with a fresh ingredient, you're dealing with variations in ripeness and in water content. And, you know, I think I got them close, but, you know.
Plantains, very tough, very difficult, and mixing everything in. Our judges had a chance to take a look at it. Questions can be good. Sure, absolutely.
I felt that the plantains, the way you did the tacos, I wouldn't have known that they were going to come out better. I thought that was very good job doing those. Very good job.
Yeah, they were great, and that little bit of lime juice in there really stuck out as a nice point of flavor in those. So.
One of those things where you just can't go wrong if it's fresh. You know, sometimes you maybe feel that, you know.
Well, I'm happy to hear that the judges enjoyed them.
Very good. We'll see how they like the rest of it. Give Jennifer a big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. We have
Dan,
one more dish to go. Yes, go ahead.
Can I interrupt? Wait 1 second, because I learned something. I think I know about parchment paper and Silpat mats and everything, but I think one of our issues in making this was we didn't have the right parchment. So just a few moments ago, I learned about the King Arthur parchment paper that has, so please tell us a little bit about that, because that's fabulous information.
Right. So I'm a home cook who really enjoys baking, and I go through a lot of parchment paper. So I often mail order mine, and I bought some that was a really good price from Amazon once, but it didn't have, and it was just straight parchment paper. And I found a lot of things stuck, so I went back to, you know, being a loyal King Arthur customer, and I believe that theirs is impregnated with some thin layer of silicone, and I don't have problems with these plantain tortillas sticking at all with that.
But that was so great, because unfortunately I still have 1,000 sheets left of my big parchment paper,
You can make
commercial size, but
you can make a lot of fish on papillotes.
yes,
That's a
I
great-
do that.
That won't
so
stick.
Anyway, but that's really good information
Thank
about
you.
that,
No,
and I
anytime.
learned something from you.
All right, Suzanne is here, and she is plating our final dish. How are you feeling at this moment?
I'm feeling great. I'm very happy with everything. I think it turned out perfect. It's all good. It's turning out great.
Along the way, you were saying you had maybe one little snack. We're hearing the 2-minute mark for you, Suzanne. How are you doing?
I'm ready. I'm ready to go.
You had a little snafu along the way?
Yeah, the oven wasn't working.
Oh boy. We've talked
was working. It just was not hot enough. Do you think I should put more pepper?
That's one thing that no. You're a little busy. We understand. That's the one thing we've been
The
talking
girl
about.
stuff again, her necklace.
I know. The necklace is great. If you guys can get a shot of that, it's adorable. Suzanne, you are a multitasker, showing off the jewelry
Yes.
and finishing her dish all at the same time. I know. No, this is great. But that's one thing we have been talking about a lot is that you guys all come to us and are completely out of your element. You're not in your kitchen. You're outside using equipment you've never even seen before today. How's it feel?
Great. I'm really happy with how everything turned out. It turned out wonderful.
Hands up. You're done?
Lion and I were ready to go. I'm ready to present.
All right, Dan, Suzanne is ready to
Oh.
go with our last dish here at the 2014 Great
How about a big
Garlic
round of applause for
Cook-Off.
Suzanne and her burgers, ladies and gentlemen?
Jewelry is also
Yeah, look at the garnish
on the
though
top
with
of
the,
the large,
sweet potato.
the large
That's
presentation.
great.
We have
jewelry,
burger
so that's my
jewelry,
little
ladies and
jewelry
gentlemen.
touch to
Burger
my
jewelry.
burgers, you know. I have to wear it. My burgers have to wear it.
Love it. I love it. So what will be presented to
And sarsaparilla.
what will be presented on our main table here. You guys will all have to see that little piece of sparkle that's going to make it happen. All right, Dan has a lot of garlic in hand. He is going to start tossing. So heads up, everybody. Grab some Christopher Ranch garlic. Of course, major sponsor here of the Gilroy Garlic Festival. We want to say a big thank you to Christopher Ranch. And of course, we saw Don Christopher just a few minutes ago. Really an inspiring story of 36 years that this festival has been going on. And over the years, so many millions of dollars have been given to charity because of the participation of the community.
Just lovely.
And all of you who attend and make it possible and make it happen. So we
All the-
appreciate all of you, and we welcome you once again to the 2014 Great Garlic Cook-Off. The stands always get very full at this time of day because we're coming down to the wire. We have our 8 contestants coming to us for not only all across the country, but we also have our Canadian representation. So that's fun. We are expanding our borders. And it really is an exciting time. I think right now, especially maybe if you were number 1 on this table, the nerves that must be going for the next couple of hours to think as all of these dishes roll out. I mean, it really is an exciting time. Wendy, you have been on both sides.
Yes.
Well, actually, you're like the triple threat. You have done the judging table.
Yes.
You're up here with us, filling in with all of your wonderful knowledge with because you're such a great chef. You know the ins and outs of all of these ingredients for us. You also do all of the cooking of them
Yes.
before they actually are cooked here.
Yes, we need to know whether they can be completed in 2 hours, whether the recipe might need a little correction or something like that. And plus, it's the integrity of the Garlic Festival and the recipes to know that they're in the book correctly, they're right, they're tried and tested. And we ask them to do photographs so we know that they have made them themselves, which is a key thing. And it helps us cooking. Again, the picture's worth 1,000 words. It helps us do the recipes a lot faster, too.
And probably get a better idea of what they have in
Exactly.
mind as far as the final presentation. There are some requirements, though, right? I mean, is there a certain amount?
Well, there's a certain amount of garlic that needs to be a minimum
Right.
of like 6 cloves or two or 3 teaspoons, and most of all the components, each one always seems to have a little bit of garlic in it, and so it's great. Their creativity always is such a joy to experience. and challenging sometimes for the committee and us to cook.
It makes it fun.
Yes,
Keeps
yes.
it interesting.
We
over
all
the years.
help each other,
Yeah.
so it couldn't be better.
Well, this has been so much fun, and we've been talking about these recipes. We do want to remind you that all of the recipes that you're seeing here today are available in the Garlic Festival cookbook, and many more, I might add. And you can get these cookbooks. They're $7. They're selling them right outside the Garlic stage area here. You can also get this year's 2014 commemorative art apron, Garlic art apron, for $20. They're also selling reusable grocery bags this year for $4. So that's a cool addition to the mix. And so again, all of that's available right outside of the staging area. So again, thank you all for coming. We are down to the wire. Dan is over there with Suzanne. She is our last contestant. And Dan, are they taste testing already, the judges?
It's a little cowboy up time is what it is right here. We have the judges tasting our final entry right now. And Suzanne Clark came up with this. First of all, for those who just walked in, and some of you did, tell me what you made.
I made a sarsaparilla glazed Wild West burger with Southwest sweet potatoes.
And you served it up with?
A little shot of sarsaparilla, because I know a lot of people have not tried it before, so I thought that would be fun to kind of put a little refreshing drink on the side. And
Well, Suzanne, I got to tell you, I got to have a taste of this, and it is really a tremendous amount of fun. There's a lot of stuff going on here and some very powerful things. You have bison, you have bacon, sweet potatoes, all with very strong flavors, and you have to infuse garlic into all of this. That had to be hard.
well, not really. I started off my theme, which is, I wanted to do a little cowboy Southwest. And so also in the bison, because bison can be dry, I added chorizo. That already has some garlic in it, and then I added a little additional to the burger itself. And then I wanted to do a really different, fun use of the garlic, so I sliced it thin and I pickled it and put it with charred southwestern vegetables and a little jicama, which actually is my favorite part because it gets that little surprising crunch. And then in my cowboy sauce, I have a little garlic as well. So I have actually almost 2 heads of garlic in the whole deal.
You talked about the garlic sauce. Tell me how it had a fun, sweet flavor to it with a nice garlic overlay. It's obviously, sort of your barbecue sauce, but your garlic sauce is really a lot of fun, and you have to be careful with just the right amount, though, not to overwhelm it.
Well, I really paid a lot of attention to balance. I wanted the sweetness of the sarsaparilla glaze to balance out the spiciness of the chorizo. And then on top with that relish, that little tartness of the vinegar, I wanted that to kind of play off the sweetness. And then I got the creamy from the nice creamy sauce that I put with lime and chipotle. And I kind of did that instead of cheese, because I usually like a cheeseburger, but you don't need cheese on this. It takes away from it. So the creaminess, which is usually the cheese, came from the creamy sauce.
After
Now the shaved garlic concept and the jicama. The jicama is something that we're going to see so much more of. I think in the future. How do you shaved it?
Well, what I did is I thinly sliced 14 cloves of garlic. Really, 14. But when you brine them, it takes away that harsh, bitter, harsh garlicky taste. It makes it nice and mellow, almost kind of like baking or roasting garlic. And then the jicama is actually diced. And usually jicama is kind of a bland vegetable. But when you put it in with everything else, it really has that crunch. It stays crunchy and firm, but it picks up all the flavors. So I thought that was kind of fun.
Tremendous fun and a chance to cowboy up right here at the Gilroy Garlic Festival. This is our last contestant in the Great Garlic Cook-Off, and Suzanne came all the way from Phoenix to give us this tremendous presentation as well. Judges, any questions for Suzanne? Any questions at all? They want to know if you can meet them over at the Sonic after the big Garlic Festival there on the other side of town, and we could go for it. Big round of applause. Oh, real quick.
Whose sarsaparilla is it?
I have to look at the brand. My lovely chaperone purchased it for me here because it's hard to find, but it's from Bevmo, but that's what I can tell you. It's a natural, all-natural sarsaparilla. I'll show you the bottle afterwards. But yeah.
Very good. Suzanne Clark, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much. Suzanne from Phoenix. Now, what is going to happen? We're going to, just as soon as those judges put those pencils down, we're going to snatch those up and go into the back where we have a team of accountants with an abacus that will sit there and calculate the totals and come up with the winner. And the winner will be one of these 8 dishes, the chef behind one of these 8 dishes, and they will be crowned in just a short amount of time. Meantime, we have some other great stuff for you as well. And also, we want to remind you that you can try these recipes yourself, and we encourage you to do so. And there's a whole lot more. If you take anything away from the Gilroy Garlic Festival, this is the one thing I would recommend, and I tell friends, Katie, because you take back not only the spirit of the festival, you take back the flavor.
You take back all the recipes. Everything that we're doing out here today in this book, lots of things that you will see out in the festival in this book. As Dan said, you can take it home and do it yourself and really take home the fun and the flavors that make this festival what it is. A lot of you have come to us toward the end of this cook-off, and so I just wanted to tell you once again our panel of judges today, because they're doing such a fantastic job. This is really going to be a tough choice. So I just wanted to say thanks once again to Jason Gronlund. He's the executive chef of Smoky Bones Bar and Fire Grill. Jason Levinsky, executive chef of the Hyatt Fisherman's Wharf, is with us here. Evelyn Milliette from Rayleigh's Bel Air Nob Hill Foods. Majid Barini from Mamma Mia's Italian Restaurant, also one of our judges today, and Adam Sanchez from the Milius Restaurant. We want to say thank you to all of these judges coming out. We know it's a tough job, but somebody's got to do it. So thanks to them, and thanks to all of you for coming out and supporting this cook-off and this festival. We couldn't do it without you, and a lot of what we are doing here today goes to charity. So it's all for a good cause. It's all good. So Dan, we are coming down to the wire. I think, if I'm correct, we're at about 5 or 7 minutes after 12. Actually, we're 10 after 12. Once the judges have finished their final tasting, as Dan said, those numbers will go to the back. Those will be tallied, so just bear with us. We're going to have about a 15-minute time period there where they're doing those numbers, so we can make sure that everything is perfect, that everything is tallied up correctly, because we've got some big money on the line. This is a great honor to have the title, but there's also a big check that goes along with it too. So all of our contestants are winners in our minds. 8 people have come to us from all over the country and Canada to be a part of this, and I think it's fantastic. Just to be part of this 8 must be amazing.
It is, and one of the key people, or couples, if you will,
yes.
Dan was talking about how each year the rank changes, and this year our leaders were Barbara Morrow and Michael Davis, who were president and vice pro, or whatever you call them, and Dennis and Renee were the outgoing,
yes.
and but they stay, they become chairman of the board, so it's just a wonderful continuity how they keep each other going each year. But kudos to Barbara and Michael.
Absolutely, for keeping it all going. I couldn't imagine this undertaking and making it all happen. You know, Wendy and I were just talking a little bit while Dan was over there with the judging table about how each year these presentations are getting more and more elaborate. And what I noticed, especially this year, last year we did pairings. We did wine pairings that were chosen for the judges. But this year we're seeing a lot of our cooks, our contestants, coming with their own take on the beverage.
Exactly.
We've seen sarsaparilla, we have the mason jars, we've got, and really, I know, I never looked at that bottle closely, but I think that's tequila over there. It's fun. All the little things that go into the presentation, little buckets, little hats, it really makes for, as you said earlier, the first thing you do with food, you take it in with your eyes.
Exactly.
And it makes a huge difference.
And you need sort of the beverages to be palate cleanser or a pairing. So not only wine are they putting down and letting the chefs choose, but also beer and of course water.
Yes.
So it really is a good way that not everything is perfectly matched because we all have different tastes, and so it's
Well-
wonderful.
And isn't it true that like there's some days, I don't know, I don't drink beer.
Yeah.
But some days, you're just like
on a hot day
yes,
with Mexican
cold
food,
beer
and-
or
yes,
that
perfect.
lemonade or with
Yes.
the mason jar. It just looks delicious. There's certain things that just certain dishes call for certain things.
Exactly.
And I
And
think
the
these chefs, I think
sarsaparilla.
they have nailed it. It really is great.
Well, Wendy, I would like to go through, since we have time. We have just turned in the numbers, and I
Yes.
want to. We want, for those of you particularly who just came in, I want you to look up to your screen up here, and I want to take you through each one of these and what the strengths and the weaknesses may be as the judges are considering it here today. So let's take a look at this first item, and this is a pomegranate sweet chili glazed pork kebab, and it has sweet potato hash by Terry Crandall from Gardnerville, Nevada. Tell me, Wendy, what you see as some real possible strengths here and why this could be a real contender.
Well, there are a lot of different categories that we look for, whether it's an appetizer. So to say weaknesses, I don't think anybody has a weakness when they get to this stage. So this might be an interesting appetizer on a bed. I mean, how the different judges read it, or family style platter, or outdoor barbecue. So
Well,
a new way to do the hash, the skewers.
The hash is really fun. This is critical. That pork's got to be cooked perfectly.
Yes,
That's
yes.
vital. There's a glaze there. That glaze is probably going to have a really nice garlicky flavor to it, or a good garlic component to it. How fun is this with
Yes.
the braised
And
pineapple?
you're right to point out those details. Look at how this is 2 hours ago. Look at how that glaze still
It still holds up.
Yes. And the grilled vegetables, you know, it gives them
Sure.
a little pop. It really is
Al-
well executed.
Also, creativity. Take a look at this sweet potato hash here. I want you to see. I looked at this, and honestly, as you
Very
saw, the first time I saw this, I thought that's rice. It's a
Yes,
fun
yes.
rice-a-roni kind of thing. It's not. It's sweet potato hash, remarkably mixed in, and it really is a hash. But
Yeah.
again, when you
Grated.
do a hash, what's your number one nightmare? That it's going to be dry.
Yes, yes.
And so
And nice to have the glaze with that. It really, and the sweetness and the juiciness of the vegetables and pineapple will all complement each other.
So that's from Terry Crandall, Gardnerville, Nevada. She's our contestant number one with the pomegranate sweet chili glazed pork kebabs and the sweet potato hash. Now we're going to move over to number two, which is our summer salmon roll with a garlic lemon sauce. This brought to us by Renata Stanko from Lebanon, Oregon. And here we have, first of all, something fun. It's going to be light, but when you're doing something light and when you're doing fish, let's look at the protein. Got to be cooked perfectly. She
And that's
poached
so
it.
hard. It really, a caterer's nightmare because it can overcook just like that. And when you begin to see the little white protein seizing up, then you feel, oh my God, I've overcooked it. But hers is lovely and medium rare. And what I do like about this, again, it could be a past appetizer. It's small enough, and that is a dipping sauce or a lovely, elegant first course. And by slicing it on the diagonal, it exposes more of the interior, so you get to see all the fun colors, and it's easier to eat.
Here's my question about this particular dish.
Yeah.
Wendy, you're a chef, you've judged before. Here's my question, because when this is obviously fun for pass or hors d'oeuvres or at an event, this is the Garlic Festival cook-off. There's not a lot of places to really bring that garlic flavor in here other than the
Right.
sauce. You're going to have
Right.
to really sort of subtly bring it in inside this space, and that looks hard.
It is, but you know, if you use like just a kiss, you know, and then of course with the yogurt sauce, that's such a wonderful base to carry the garlic. So it works together, but she did do an excellent job.
I mean, I would think
Yeah,
as a judge,
it
you're
is.
going to have to bring me more garlic than just garlic in a sauce. It's going to have
Oh
to
yeah,
be
it
somewhere
has
else.
to be in there as well.
So this
Yes.
again, the summer salmon roll with garlic lemon sauce by Renata Stanko from Lebanon, Oregon. That's number 2. Now a south of the border fun presentation. This is I don't know why this is here. I'll just keep it in my pocket. So this is blackened garlic chicken enchiladas with avocados, artichokes, and tropical quinoa from Sonia Gorgon, Moorhead, Minnesota. And one of the fun things about this particular dish is that it's gluten-free.
Yes, yes.
And so here, the garlic, it's sort of the opposite problem in my book, is that you got to make sure not to overpower here.
Exactly.
This is going to be a lot of flavor, and those flavors can cross each other and go bad in a big hurry.
One of the things visually interesting about this dish is we're always used to Mexican dishes having a lot of the red diced tomato in it, and to have something that's basically yellow and green, it is nice and light and refreshing. She's got mango, she's got artichokes, which for the Central Coast, artichoke capital just on the western side of the hill here, is a wonderful twist on this.
And
I
artichokes, frankly, are the last thing that I would think about a lot of the times
Yes.
when I would be talking about an enchilada.
Exactly. So
But-
that's what was different and interesting and kind of captured our.
But at a right consistency, an artichoke can really take on a tremendous amount of outside flavor.
Exactly.
So this could be a lot of fun. She served it up with a great fun presentation. I'm just going to test this and make sure that. Just water, just so you know. It's just water. Now, so this is Sonia Gorgon, Moorhead, Minnesota. Blackened garlic chicken enchiladas with avocados, artichokes, and tropical quinoa. And again, if you know anyone who needs gluten-free, who has celiac, this would be a fun reason just to get that the recipe book and take it home.
Yes.
Because that would be a fun night. Now, Katie is going to take you through the next 4 with Wendy, and Katie's going to show us each one of these and the challenges that go with each one, starting with the crab.
Wasn't that fun?
This was so much fun. Wendy, we were talking again about presentation. This was the Cabana Crab Sizzlin' Summer Shooters by Margie Berry from White Salmon, Washington. She talked to us about her inspiration, and if I remember correctly, she said she's worked on this for 4 years?
Well, she
Yes,
had to
in her
lay
mind.
off because she won before, so she was in her layoff period. We're so glad that's over because she comes up with great ones.
She gets to come back.
Yes.
So this shooter, and again, we were talking to the judges about the difference between presenting a hot dish and a cold dish, and they do take into consideration that this possibly, some of our cold dishes might not be as cold as they would be, but they do
Right.
take it to that other level of what exactly our contestants were going
Yes.
for.
When we made the sample of this, the watermelon granada was so crisp in the spooned iciness, and so it gave it a crunch. Of course, the fried prosciutto does a similar thing, but that chilled crunch like ice cubes was just so delicious,
Yes.
and another great textural and temperature component.
Right.
The heat of the spices, the creaminess, she had it all going for her in here. So if this is a winner, it's a winner at home to do. You need to try this recipe. It's just so good
And
and
I love that
refreshing.
that you mentioned the creaminess of it, because the creaminess of this comes from whipped cream infused with garlic.
And did she put the avocado in there too, I think?
It
I
just
can't-
it looks
it is.
delicious, and like you said.
That's a good technique too, even though, but for whipping flavored cream, whether it's soaking some lavender and bringing it up, or
Nice.
blue cheese cream, or different herb creams, you
Right.
can go wild with that concept and then just chill it down and beat it up, and you've got a flavored, great creamy sauce.
Amazing. All right, so that was our Cabana Crab Sizzlin' Summer Shooter. That was from Margie Berry out of Washington. We're going to move on now. This is
Texas.
our Texas representative here was Shara Little from Austin, and she was bringing the Texas
Yes.
in her dish, in her outfit. And this was the garlic, pepper, bacon, jam, pork tenderloin sliders with fried pickles. Now,
Yes.
what Shara did was take her pickles, and then she put the prosciutto.
No, but bacon. This is
Sorry,
a bacon,
the bacon
one.
wrapped,
Yep.
excuse me. Bacon wrapped pickles, fried, delicious. We were talking with Evelyn, one of our judges, and she said you could just do those on their own for a little hors d'oeuvre. Added to the rest of the slider, amazing.
Yeah,
I mean,
it
a
was
lot of
wonderful.
ingredients went into there, though.
It did. At this stage, they're adding so many different layers and having wonderful side sauces. So that's another reason to buy the book, because of all the fun names they've used for their different components that you make. But this was so charming and clever and delicious, and it brings back the fun in food when we see little things like that garnish, and then the creativity that you don't see when you're going out to a restaurant like this, where they can use bandanas and hats and not everything has to be edible as we have to do in the food world.
Right.
It's fun to see what they come up with.
It's fun, but this is something, maybe not at a restaurant, but your next barbecue at home? How adorable is
well,
that?
the clever paper, the basket, the great
bandana as the
toothpicks that
placemat.
they can, yeah.
Adorable.
You know, those are all real food friendly out there for us chefs too.
Really nicely done. We are
Yes.
starting to see our stands fill up here. We want to welcome
Oh.
everybody who's just coming in to us for the Great Garlic Cook-Off 2014. You're just in time. Wendy and I are going through all of our beautiful
one.
dishes. We have 3 more that we're going to talk about. The judges have already made their decisions. Those are being tallied up in the back right now. And in just a few minutes, we are going to have our winner for this year's 36
Exciting.
years of this Garlic Festival.
Even I get
I
a
know.
buzzy stomach because I want them all to win.
I
They
know,
just
I
can't
know.
wait to see who does it.
It's fantastic. So thank you all for being here with us. And like we said, in just a few minutes, we're going to announce that winner. So you are just in time. We're going to move on to what
The-
is our 6th dish of the
Yes.
day. This is the garlic summer salad from Stacey Clayton. And she is our Canadian representative
Yes.
today, bringing the Canada. And she brought maple syrup with her too, which was
Super.
part of this summer salad.
And we haven't seen a salad in the festival for a long time. Not in my 9 years, I don't think. So this was fun, and it was inspired by her visit to Gilroy last year. So she used all the components that she was inspired by last year, the strawberries, the candied nuts, especially the goat cheese, the olive oil, not to mention the garlic.
Yeah, and a beautiful presentation once again.
Yes.
We love the mason jar. We
Yes.
love the addition of the beverages and how well thought out
Yes.
all of these presentations and all of these dishes are. So many things, so many components go into these dishes.
And the strawberries.
I know, they're beautiful. But as Wendy was saying, because of all of those components, even when some of our contestants were rattling off these ingredients, I thought, okay,
Yes.
all right, but let's keep it all straight. We are selling the Garlic Festival Cookbook right around the corner for $7. So everything we're doing here today, you can take home and you can try it yourself. We also have the garlic art aprons, the commemorative 2014 aprons for $20, and also the reusable grocery bags right around the corner for sale as well for $4. So we just wanted to remind you all of that. On your way out, you can pick this up. Let's
Super.
move on, Wendy, to
Okay.
number 7. This is our 7th contestant today, and this was Oh, the crispy pork plantacos.
Yes.
as in plantains, I would imagine. A kind of a knockoff with that, with garlicky
Black.
black bean
Bean
sauce.
sauce.
That's Jennifer Beckman from Falls Church, Virginia. And tell us more about this.
Well, I got carried away and she quickly corrected me because I was focused, and we all were, in the recipe selection of plantain tortillas. And so she said, well, it does have the pork. That's the main ingredient.
Right.
But as a chef and looking at new things and new ways to do things, her plantain tortillas were great. And she used a new parchment paper that I wasn't familiar with from King Arthur that has a slightly waxy or side to it, so the tacos peel off beautifully. But again, innovative dish, gluten-free again, wonderful job. A nice twist on something familiar to us, but creative and different.
Creative, and as you mentioned, gluten-free, which a lot of people.
Yes.
We have 2 dishes, don't we, this year now that
Yes.
are gluten-free. It's becoming, something that people are looking for now, and it's nice to see that this is what you gluten-free.
Yes, well, Southwest Mexican food is comfort food to us all here.
Lovely. So that was Jennifer Beckman, and those were the planned tacos. And now our final dish of the
Wow.
afternoon. Wow,
Wow.
we're at 12:25. We are getting so
Okay.
close
Yes.
to hearing who is going to be the winner this year. Let's talk about the sarsaparilla glazed Wild West burgers and Southwest sweet potatoes. Those were from Suzanne Clark. She came to us from Phoenix, Arizona, and you can definitely kind of see that whole Southwest incorporated into her
And
dish.
this was great because they used bison or buffalo, which is a very lean and healthy meat. And her glaze just looked so wonderful over this. And of course, bacon seemed to infiltrate almost all the dishes this year. If it wasn't bacon, it was prosciutto. She's also a jewelry maker, she said, so her beautiful pick, and then the star out of her sweet potato, and the sweet potato hash. Again, 2 lovely uses this year, and we couldn't eliminate them even though they had similar components.
Similar ingredients.
They were so good.
Yeah, no, I love the bling.
And
Bringing
the
it-
corn, all of the stereotypical ingredients, the jicama, the corn and the salsa, the spiciness,
Well,
really great. And the sarsaparilla.
The sarsaparilla, I
Your
know.
drink,
I
your
know,
drink.
Exactly. No, and again, beautifully plated, beautifully presented. And Wendy, I think the judges are really going to have a hard time this year. I don't know.
Oh, I agree.
It's-
I'm so glad not to be
Not to
doing
be
that.
judging,
Yes.
I know. This is the fun part, looking and tasting and seeing, and the excitement of it all. Dan, where are we on the judging?
Yes.
The judges, we got the abacus out, and so they have the abacus, and we brought in some math majors from Gavilan, and we're working on it right now. We're doing some math, and then we're going to bring them out, and we're going to go over each one of these, and we're going to talk about that, and then we're going to crown our winner. And we have a special presentation today. But we do want to say thank you to our sponsors, Katie. And so if you could go through our special sponsors, because whether they donate to us in kind or in the case of South County for really standing behind us here on the cook-off stage, each and every one of our sponsors is vital to the success of not only the Great Garlic Cook-Off, but also the Gilroy Garlic Festival. Katie?
All right, it is a long list, so bear with me. But first off, we do want to say once again thank you to Christopher Ranch, of course, major sponsor here of the Garlic Festival. Don Christopher, if you could stand up for us once again, a founding father here, 36 years of the Garlic Festival. Again, such a great run, providing so many millions of dollars for charity. So we want us to thank Don Christopher for his vision. We also want to say thank you to Raley's, Bel Air, and Nob Hill Foods. We'd like to say thank you to Rabobank, South County Chrysler, also major sponsor here today for the great garlic cook-off, and Dole Fresh Vegetables. Again, this list is long, so do bear with me. Hi, Don.
I just want to say thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thanks, everybody, for being here. And it's been a heck of a good show. Thank you.
Don, thank you. So appreciate you. All right, LJV Farms also is sponsored today. Western Tree Nursery, Renee Harrigan, Art of Food TV with Wendy Brody. Jim Rhodes, we'd also like to say thank you to Guglielmo Winery, Satori Cellars, the wineries of Santa Clara Valley, Head Start Nursery, Lightheart Cellars, Calera Winery, Ernie's Plumbing, Todd and Janice Jones, Lowe's, Greg Richterick, Julie Franco, Le Creuset, Elaine Bonino, Syngenta Flowers, Lucero Olive Oil, Rick and Jody Heinzen, Andy's Rub, Solus Winery, Hacker Pass Winery, Fernwood Cellars, Sarah's Vineyard, Fortino Winery, Man Cellars, Hazmat Hot Sauce, People and Planet, Tom and Valerie Obata, St. Mary's Parent Club, and Robert Deal. That rounds out our list of sponsors. We want to give them a big round of applause. They make this happen. You make this happen. Thanks again for coming out and supporting this. We are very, very close to having the winner of our 2014 Great Garlic Cook-Off. How are you feeling, Jason?
Good, yeah, it was a great job. You know, it's always difficult. It gets down to these granular levels of trying to pick out the nuances that separate each one because, you know, sometimes that's what it comes down to is the tiniest little things, how they sauteed it, how they develop the flavors and things like that. And when you get down to the last three, it's not just a walk away. You know, at times it really takes it and you know, you've got people and, you know, that's interesting about food. Food is such a subjective to each person. So when you start to take things like salt, pepper, and sugar, three things that nobody will ever agree on. What I say is sweet, you may say is not sweet enough. What I say is not hot, you may say is too hot. So that's always good why you have a panel of judges so you get some subjectivity from a bunch of different people. Then you have to take and now coordinate everybody's subjective opinion, become objective and now in the putting it together. So
do you guys take into consideration the fact that they're all out here in an outdoor setting using equipment? I mean, you go into your restaurant every day, you know where your stuff is, you know exactly what you're going to do. They hit the ground running here and literally have to just kind of fly by the seat of their pants with ovens they're not used to. How do you guys take that into consideration?
Well, first off, I was in the military, so I cooked in gasoline burners in the middle of the Mojave Desert here in Barstow, California. I compete here, and I'll be competing tomorrow in the chef competition. So I understand it. And then we were talking earlier, as you take into the consideration of a great example, a salad. You'd want salad greens cold and crisp, but we also can understand as food professionals that how it should have been, taking away the you know, the things that were outside factors that they had no control over. You look at more of the controllables, salt, flavoring, development of flavor. Those are controllables that we know. Do you want the burger perfectly hot? Of course you do. But between staging and plating and all those things, again, you take all that into consideration to ensure that you're not shorting somebody that did a great job and because something they couldn't control, you know, went sideways or something. So,
Jason Garland, thank you so much. One of our judges here today. Thanks for being here. And Dan.
Big round of applause for
Yes.
Jason, please. We're going to hear more from him in just a minute. All right, we are ready to get underway. Are you ready?
Whoa!
How about some garlic? Are you ready?
Yes.
All right. I want to introduce you to each of our great garlic cook-off contestants. I am going to tell you what they cooked as well, so please welcome our first contestant from Gardnerville, Nevada, making pomegranate sweet chili glazed pork kebabs with sweet potato hash, Terry Crandall. Come on up here, Terry. Terry, your pork looks terrific.
Thank you.
And how hard was the hash?
Not hard at all. It's really very simple.
It looks fantastic. If there's anything you should try to cook at home, this hash is a lot of fun. Thank you very much. Next up, from Lebanon, Oregon, making summer salmon rolls with garlic lemon sauce, Renata Stanko. You've been here before. How are you feeling?
Okay. I always have fun when I'm here.
And you love that Oregon salmon. It looks fantastic.
Thank you.
Well, she
Renata, ladies and gentlemen.
consistently and always a little Asian. Yeah.
Coming to us from Moorhead, Minnesota, making this remarkable presentation of black and garlic chicken enchiladas with avocados, artichokes, and tropical quinoa. It's Sonia Gorgon. Thank you for bribing us with tequila.
You're welcome. You needed it.
Let me tell you something. It's more than quinoa. It's tropical quinoa. How do you make it?
You cook it with orange juice, and then at the end you add the salsa that you put on the top of the enchiladas in the quinoa. So
And you wave you wave a bulb of garlic on top of it while you're doing it.
you do.
Give her a big round of applause. Sonia, ladies and gentlemen. From White Salmon, Washington, bringing us the unique Cabana Crab Sizzlin' Summer Shooters, Margie Berry. You were all worried, and for naught, because everybody thought it was terrific. There's a lot going on here. How hard is this? What would you tell people who want to try this at home?
It's actually pretty easy. The time-consuming part is just getting your whipped cream chilled down and getting the granita chilled down, and then otherwise it just goes together real simple.
Anybody who uses bacon as a garnish is okay in my book.
No kidding.
Margie, ladies and gentlemen. How about this one with a little Texas flair? From Austin, Texas, the garlic pepper bacon jam pork tenderloin sliders with fried pickles. Share a little. I look at this and I just say, let's get it on. What was interesting is how long you actually really let these pickles cook. You cooked those for a while.
The bacon was a little thick, so they had to cook because you want them to be crunchy.
And those are crunchy pickles, and they really add a lot to the tenderloin sliders. Where do you think you're going to have to deliver the garlic in this whole thing in your dish to really make the judges love it?
I think that they would find it in their arugula because I used the garlic juice of the actual jarred garlic, and it was fantastic there. But then also in the jam, I put garlic on the pork tenderloin itself. And then, of course, there's garlic in the dill from the pickles.
Sneaking up on them in the arugula. Share a little from Austin, Texas. From British Columbia, Canada. This, we think, because we don't really hire a historian. We have people who are like, yeah, I think so. I think that happened. We don't think we've had desserts before. In fact, several. We don't think we've ever actually had a salad as an entry to the Great Garlic Cook-Off. Just a salad like this. This is from British Columbia, Canada, garlic summer salad from Stacy Clayton. She's Canadian, but she's bringing alive all of the flavors on the Central Coast that you did like a field trip for to really bring out all those great flavors. And I think what could make it all pop for you, quite frankly, though, is the garlic, the flavoring of Gilroy in that goat cheese.
It's all Gilroy right there. All of it.
Tell me about that trip that you took.
Well, it was amazing. We went bushwhacking. We went to farms. We went up streets you'll never find again. So it was a lot of fun finding them.
You said, I'm just going to bring these flavors together. Tell me about this dressing.
The dressing was, I actually had a company in BC that is similar to Lucero. Is that how you pronounce
Lucero.
it? Lucero. And it's very similar, so it was a lot of fun to experiment with both. I got to use Lucero here and the garlic olive oil company in Canada, so it was lots of fun to try them.
Outstanding. Stacy Clayton, ladies and gentlemen. From Falls Church, Virginia. Crispy pork plan tacos with garlicky black bean sauce. Welcome, Jennifer Beckman. They are not tacos. They are plan tacos. She brought the freshness today.
Yes. You know, it's really funny. We were looking at my ingredients ahead of time, and it's just a bunch of vegetables and pork, you know, put together in a delicious and bright way.
Bunch of vegetables and pork with garlic. How do you go wrong with that?
You really can't. They're all good friends.
We wish you a lot of luck. Jennifer Beckman. And look at this from the heat of Phoenix, Arizona. Sarsaparilla glazed Wild West burgers and Southwest sweet potatoes. Oh, man. It's time to cowboy up, right? Are you ready for this? Suzanne Clark. Suzanne, you don't have cowboy boots on, but you sure brought it. Tell me about it.
Well, I really wanted to bring a little Southwest, a little bit of my hometown of Phoenix here to the festival, and I created this wonderful, real well-balanced hamburger here with the sweet potatoes. I'm also an artist, so I like to kind of bring a little artsy flair, and I actually created my own little picks with the turquoise and made my buckets and made my plates. They're all copper-leafed, so I had to throw a little of that art touch in there, too.
Outstanding. Big round of applause. Suzanne, ladies and gentlemen. None of this possible without our judges. Many of our judges will be cooking for you later today on this very stage, and we encourage you to come out there and see them. Our judges, ladies and gentlemen, give them a big round of applause. One of our judges here today, Jason Gronlund from Smoky Bones, ladies and gentlemen, right here today, who has cooked, you may recall last year, with a very dear friend of ours. And you may notice he is not here this year. Last year, you were a big winner with Jay Minzer. Second year that Jay and Jason won. What was it about you two cooking together that was so special, cooking with Jay?
Jay and I have been together, friends 15 years, and we're sort of symbiotic in the kitchen. We knew what each other was doing at all times, and, you know, once we get an idea in our head and discussed it, we would just be able to go forward and, you know, be able to really know what the other was doing. We had 1 hour to accomplish it. And we could just look over and to our side, knew where each other was at. It was just, you know, a relationship like, you know, you just really can't compare it to a lot of things.
Jay had that kind of relationship with almost everybody that he met. And we lost Jay Minzer this past year. I remember meeting Jay about 15 years ago on this stage, and we cooked together and did a demonstration together. And the thing I will never forget about Jay, he was the personal chef for the owner of the 49ers, for the DeBartolo family. He was a chef. He served amazing people in restaurants in New York, in Miami, all over the country he has cooked. But he was the most down-to-earth person you would ever want to meet. And it was all exemplified to me in this crappy knife that he cooked with. You remember that knife? And I asked him, I said, why are you cooking with that crappy knife? And he said, this knife and I have been together from the very beginning, and it feels good in my hand, and it always has. And Jay Minzer cooked that way. He cooked in a way that was just comfortable for whoever it was that he touched. And we have a small tribute we'd like you to see for our friend Jay Minzer.
If my words did glow with the gold of sunshine, and my tunes were played on the harp unstrung, would you hear my voice come through the music? Would you hold it near as it were your own? There is a road, no simple highway between the dawn and the dark of night. And if you go, no one may follow. That path is for your steps alone. Ripple in still water, when there is no pebble tossed, no wind to blow, you choose to lead, must follow. But if you fall, you fall alone.
Chef Jay Minzer. We're going to cook some garlic for Jay this weekend, and we hope you'll enjoy it. If you would like to, even if you never met him, cook some garlic for Jay, would you, and turn up the dead and have yourself a glass of wine. He'd appreciate it. Are you ready to find a winner, ladies and gentlemen? Our garlic queen and quarter here to present. I want to thank all of our contestants. This has been a very long journey for each and every one of them. Some of them have taken that journey several times. It is a very difficult road, and I want you to take a look at these remarkable people. Don't look at me. I'm balding. And I want to thank them for all of the things that they have done. Terry Crandall from Gardnerville, Nevada, with your remarkable creation of the sweet glazed pork kebabs, terrific sweet potato hash. I thought this was just amazing, and I want to thank you very much for coming. You're not one of our finalists today, but thank you very, very much. Thank you. Give her a big round of applause, would you? Renata with the summer salmon rolls and garlic lemon sauce. Wow. This flavor was truly, truly remarkable. And year after year, you come to us with such amazing flavors and such fun recipes. Thank you for coming. I'm sorry you're not a finalist this year. Thank you. Black and garlic enchiladas with avocados, artichoke, and tropical quinoa. Sonia also tried to lure our judges and sway them, even the MCs, with tequila-based beverages. Not to discourage that from happening in the future, but I'm sorry, you're not one of our finalists today. Cabana Crab Sizzling Summer Shooters. Margie Berry's been in one of these positions before. She's been around the block. And by the way, I don't know if you noticed her accent, Kate. She's originally from St. Louis, just like myself, and I knew she was. From Kirkwood High School, ladies and gentlemen, Margie Berry has been here before. She brought us a Cabana Crab Sizzling Summer Shooter. She even used a bacon-type based product as a garnish, which always does very, very well in our book. But I'm sorry you're not a finalist here today. We have 4 contestants left. These 4 people right here, one of them is our champion. One of them will be going home. One will come in 3rd place and receive a lovely garlic crown. One will come in 2nd and receive a lovely garlic crown. Our real winner, our number 1 winner, will get a really awesome garlic crown and a big check. So I'd like you to meet again from Austin, Texas, Shara Little, who made you may recall, the tenderloin sliders. You can stay right here. Suzanne Clark from Phoenix made the sarsaparilla glazed Wild West burgers. You can stay right there. So Jennifer and Stacy, Stacy, you brought us the most creative salad. We've never had a salad in the finals. And the freshest, I don't know that we've ever had plantains or plant tacos. I mean, stuff like that. It's just really remarkable what you've done with the flavor. And you both are terrific. But Stacy, you're not one of our finalists today. I'm very, very sorry. So the rest of you, I'm going to ask you to step back. And one of these 3 will be our champion here today. So I want the garlic, just step in behind them. Just step in behind them. Where's our 3rd place crown? Our 3rd place crown is right there. Well, why don't we give the 3rd place crown right now? Because that 3rd place crown will go to Jennifer Beckman from Falls Church, Virginia, and the crispy pork plan tacos. Thank you very much. Jennifer, you get a plaque as well. I ask you to step back. You did a great job. Thank you very, very much. We're going to get a picture with all 3 of you in just a minute. But one of you is our champion. And wow, the flavor that you guys brought, again, Shara brought these, and both of you bringing us like a sandwich kind of thing, because garlic, pepper, bacon, tenderloin sliders from Shara, and then we had the sarsaparilla glazed Wild West burgers from Suzanne. It was a taste tour de force, and you guys got to bring it to be a champion at the Garlic Festival today. What do you guys think? Would it be the pork tenderloin sliders? Or would it be the Wild West burgers? Ladies and gentlemen, our world champion for the 2014 Great Garlic Cook-Off, from Phoenix, Arizona, sarsaparilla glazed Wild West burgers and Southwest sweet potatoes, Suzanne Clark. And we also crowned Shara Little from Austin, Texas, with her remarkable bacon jam pork tenderloin sliders. Give them a big round of applause. Wow, you had to bring it all. There was so much. You bit off all you could chew and then some. There were so many ways that you could have gone wrong here, and you brought it from Phoenix, and you're going home with the championship.
I sure am. I'm so excited, but I could not have done this without my help of my chaperone, Barbara Orth, the best chaperone ever. She was awesome and really helping me put this together. So I'm very proud. This is a great, great time. Wonderful festival. I love the community spirit. This is a great honor.
And you're going to be a great champion. Ladies and gentlemen, Suzanne, give her a big round of applause. Ladies and gentlemen, Chef Wendy Brody, our Volunteer of the Year last year and our co-MC today. Big round of applause. Wendy?
Thank you, and I just wanted to say to all the contestants that didn't place, I'm sorry to say I'm glad, because I hope that means that I'll get recipes from you all again for next year. You did such a great job. So please, I want to see those recipes. And I'm sorry I will miss the winners for 4 years, I guess, or 3 years.
Ladies and gentlemen, our co-MC, the lovely Kate Callahan.
Thank you, everybody, for coming out and supporting the Gilroy Garlic Festival. It has been another great year. We want you to have a great time for the next 2 days. Thanks again for coming. Everything you do, your participation makes this happen. So we want to thank you today. Thank you for having us, and have a great afternoon. And we'll just say a big thank you to RMC Dan Green.
More action on this stage coming up in just a few minutes. Thank you all. God bless you. Have a great Garlic Festival.
Blues, what do I do? Yeah. When I get the blues up and barbecue.